Joel, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. We're no longer frozen or delayed.
You're good.
Kaylee's really quiet.
yeah.
Kaylee, you're really quiet. We can barely hear you.
Okay, 1 second.
That was better. Maybe she was just being quiet.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Let's get started. Warren Select Board meeting, August 12th, 2025. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We will start with public comment. We typically limit public comment to about 3 minutes per person, so please just be respectful of our busy schedule. And we'd love to hear from anyone who has something they'd like to share.
I do.
Yes, Camilla.
I'd just like to remind everybody that the courts up at Brooks Field, the tennis and pickleball courts,
Yeah.
are public courts, and they are not reservable. And they are, so first come, first serve.
Yep.
And for everybody equally. No group has any more right to use them than any other. And I would even go so far as to say, if you're a large group of people and there's somebody else there who also wants to use one of the courts, your group should stick to one and you can let somebody else use the other. So, but I just want to remind people that it's not reservable.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And they're great.
And they're great, and we're really glad everybody's using them. But everybody should be able to.
Thank you for that reminder. Anybody else? Steve,
I am here to lodge file a formal complaint.
will you just introduce yourself, please,
I'm
to the group?
Steve Bell,
Yes.
a resident of Warren for 40 years.
Yeah.
I've lived in Alpine Village for 32. And I was attacked viciously by some unknown dogs that arrived out of nowhere. And that just was a pretty frightening experience, and I don't want to have to go through it again.
Yeah.
So I prepared a written statement
Yes,
of
we've
the
received that.
events, and I will prepare another statement going back to the beginning of when this all started with the neighbor moved in. There's been all kinds of now
Changes.
the dogs are there. Pardon?
There've been changes.
Well, you moved in the middle of the night. They come and go in the middle of the night. The state police trailed them down there, tracked them right down. The Williston Sheriff's Department showed up and retrieved stolen property from a Williston tractor dealer. And then, and then recently, the most recent incident was, what I consider to be an escalation of their living style. These attack dogs showed up. So I don't think they'll want anybody getting near them. We've driven down to say, hey, do you want a hand? They don't have a septic system apparently. And we were I'm the kind of guy that will wave at an olive branch and say, hey, we're out here together, but that's not anymore. So after what happened the other day, whatever formal steps I need to take, I want to start right here.
So, sorry, just to clarify, you have tried to speak with them about the dogs,
No.
or no?
No,
Okay.
I called the state police, and the state police called me. The state police trooper assured me that they were going to be kept on a leash. And every time, I've seen the people 3 times now. Tonight before I came here, they're out, they're free, they're loose. And yesterday there was a post on Front Page Forum. My adjacent neighbor on the other downside has also reported she's seen the dogs, she's seen the vehicles, and I told her to be careful. And I was down there this morning to look, and it appears as though, they're using the lower access, which is a non-permitted access on Rabbit Road. The girl is the granddaughter of the original owner. And the guy put a road in 25 years ago. It's been kind of, It shows up on the Google Maps, people continually try to get through there, but it's impassable by vehicle, but I'm assuming that they're using it.
Yeah.
They're clearly using that, and
So, I'm sorry for your experience.
so I have more
here.
than one issue with the other than just the dog.
Yeah.
But tonight, we're here only about the dog.
Okay, and if there is an issue regarding access, driveways, etc., the first place to take that up would be with the zoning administrator to see what is permitted and what isn't, and
Okay.
what is enforceable and what isn't there. And then, we have your written report, thank you for doing that. In my reading of the municipal dog statute, we don't have any power unless you're actually injured, which is unfortunate in certain cases. So I would say, please keep us informed of what's going on, and we can continue this conversation in any ways that we might be able to help. You and I and Jeff can talk outside of a public meeting, and keep us abreast of what happens at the state police level. If they told you that they were ensuring that the dogs would be leashed,
I was
Follow
called
up
by the
with
state
them.
trooper.
Yeah.
I called 911, they put me in touch with the state police dispatch. I spoke with Trooper Farnham Boylan, or whatever his name is, and after a while, he called back, and he said he had called and spoken to the woman next door, and that they would keep the dogs on leash.
so if you
Okay.
can, I would follow up
So I'm gonna
with
tell you
them.
right now that that has not happened.
Right.
And I left him a message
Okay, good.
to tell him just
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking that until there's a formal complaint here, they're not gonna pay any attention. Hey, it's a dog matter, they got a lot more important things to do. But this was not just a case of dog loose and pooping in my yard, or
Right.
just, okay, they literally attacked me. And however I was able to thwart them, I felt lucky. And I don't, like I said, I don't wanna ever have that happen again. If it had been my wife, it might have been a different story. It was me.
And there are other people on that road,
Yeah.
just quickly,
Yeah.
it's a dead-end road. Help can't get there quickly enough. We have a small dog. We don't let that dog out at all, not anymore.
I don't believe it was coincidence that those two dogs acted the way they did. It may have been a coincidence that the third dog was with them, but the two pit bulls look like that's what they're trained to do. They're trained to attack and keep people away.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened. Because I know that, like I said, we have both driven down. No, I want to see what's going on. Because like I said, they're coming and going in the middle of the night. And we know of their, they brought a pretty bad reputation with them. So,
It isn't just coming and going like they have a nighttime job. They're very active at night. They're
Yeah.
bringing in stolen property. The police are coming and taking it away.
Right.
It's an active
So
situation.
it sounds like
That's totally different.
it sounds like continuing to keep the state police informed is a really, really important
Right.
piece of this for you guys. And, you've made your complaint with us.
Yep.
There isn't anything that we can do at this juncture, but we absolutely are willing and wanting to support you in the event that we can. So please just stay in touch. And I'm sorry this is happening.
Stay in touch with
Yeah,
Deb and Jim.
and with Jeff.
Yep.
Yes, this is terrible.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to be scared of being attacked by a dog. That's
Or
I want to go out and wax my
On your own
weeds.
It's not-
property.
it's terrible.
Firewood cups.
That's terrible.
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll
And
talk.
I'll reread the statute and see if there's anything we have the ability to do, or if we can make a phone call, or, what we can try and help. But, so,
Right.
thank you for bringing your issue before us. And we'll stay
Thank
in
you for
touch.
listening.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
the other neighbors are, I don't know what they like to voice support, but there's been ongoing issues on the road for other issues.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
yeah.
I've used up my 3 minutes.
Thank you, though.
Thanks, appreciate
So
it.
we'll let it go at that, see what happens.
Keep in touch.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, keep
Thank
in
you,
touch.
Steve.
Can I go back?
Yes, you can. You.
Great, thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate all your effort and all the work you do.
Your water back there.
Your water.
Is there any other public comment this evening? If not, we'll move on to agenda changes. Does anybody have anything they need to add or amend? Zoom land?
Kind of trying to keep an eye on them without blocking the
Nope.
view.
Okay,
Nothing here.
okay, great. So first up, we have grand list corrections. Sandra, would you please join us?
Fall out.
Do you need a copy? We have one here. Okay, there's one here.
All right. You want a copy?
No, I
Do you have it memorized?
well, I'd like to come in and say that this is all correct and now, but it is not. We still got a problem with a sugar bush, and
Before you dig into the problem, Sandra,
Yeah.
can you explain this to me, please?
well, what happened? Well, somebody told me you were gonna want more explanation.
Well, I mean, I read this, but it doesn't really, like, because I don't know your business well, I don't really know what it's telling me.
Every year, Green Mountain Power files with us, and we put that amount in. Well, the state decided they were gonna take over. So, but they were late getting us the numbers.
When you say Green
Yeah.
Mountain Power files with you, what are they filing?
Their utilities, how many lines, how many, how much they're charging, or whatever, I can
Oh.
show you,
This
the
is
whole,
way above my
something,
pay grade.
yes, it's way above my pay grade.
So they pay
But they pay taxes
Yes,
on
yes.
essentially
To
what.
have the
And
line
it's
or
usually,
property, or
the-
their
yeah, where their
assessment is
property
9
lies.
million.
So everywhere they have an easement, they pay taxes.
Well, I don't know if they pay it on the easement, they pay it on the power lines,
Okay.
The state
poles and
substation.
stuff.
Okay.
In their station
Okay.
upon. And so I got the new number for Green Mountain Power, but I put it in the wrong spot. And I did not catch it. So that one went out. And then Vermont Transco, the state decided they had to be 2 instead of 1. So they split that up, and I didn't get that information. On one of them I did, but not the second one. So anyways, we had to correct that one. So that was a minor,
What is Vermont Transco?
Verizon, I guess, and I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's
That's
another
all.
utility.
Another utility.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then
So when you say originally you have a number and now it's a new number,
yes,
that means how you had it calculated originally was one thing.
yeah,
Now it's been updated to something else.
yes. So there was, they owed $45,000 less.
I see.
So,
Transco did? Oh, GMP.
yeah.
Yep.
And in my wisdom, to try to correct this problem, which was the wrong thing to do, I said, well, Sugar Bush has got a new ski lift. And I didn't know where to put it, and I didn't know how to put it on. So I was told by 3 different people, but I sort of added it to 2 different places, subtracted it only up 1. And so we now have a big mess. And so I believe this is the bill that is the correct bill. I couldn't get a hold of Nimmer today.
When you say this bill, what are you talking about?
The
Sugar Bush or
the Sugar Bushes,
Okay.
their tax bill, that they should be owing us 13,000, not 193,000, which I tried to get them to pay, but they didn't really want to do that.
So,
I thought I was doing a real good job.
I don't even see the 100.
yeah, is that's
Oh,
not
you
on
wouldn't.
here.
You wouldn't.
Okay.
No, you would. It's you. And I tried to hide that one.
So,
But that's the one that's screwing up Dana and I, right there.
the
and-
Sugar Bush Mountain.
Yes, that large amount. So Nemrick is going to, they've got to do an audit, they've got to go in, because I changed it so many times that now everything's a total wreck.
Oh.
And so, So I really think you should fire me.
You would like it too much to
Right.
refuse.
You did this on purpose, didn't you?
And then the last one was a guy on Lincoln Gap. He subdivided his property. The neighborhood up there is an 11. We sort of put him as a 12. He didn't like that, so we had to reduce him down a little bit because his land is still in the same place it was before.
So he grieved you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we corrected that.
So the total for the grand list, I gave you my copy, went,
If that's all correct, you should be losing 32,876.
But how, if there was a $193,000
It
bill, it's
wasn't
now
supposed to
13?
be.
Well, I know, but if it,
They didn't pay it,
They
so.
didn't pay it. They just did a lot of, whoa!
they didn't pay it.
We,
Okay.
because we were late and it didn't go out at the regular grievance time.
Oh.
So we had to have a special grievance. And last year they were 4 million something. And they are, the lifts are, the town only gets the municipal, the state doesn't get anything.
Yeah.
So, what I did was I looked up on their personal property, which they put it in their personal property first, and I pulled it off of that. And that was 6 million something, so I added it to the 4 million from last year. But that wasn't what was supposed to be done. And so, and I didn't realize that until just about a week ago, because then I figured out, I still left them at the 4 million. Then they said, oh no, and they really should have been only at 50% because like everybody else. So I added that 3 million something to the 10 million I already gave them, so that brought them up to 13 million. And then I added it down to the 3 million down with the 4 million, so that would balance out, except I wasn't supposed to double it.
Did you
So
follow
the-
any of that?
sure, the
Yeah.
We should do
seven
math. I do
million,
that math.
444,800, which is the revised assessment for the Sugar Bush, is that all their lifts, or is that just
That's
Evans
supposed
Gate?
to be, no, well, I've never done the lifts, that's
Oh.
all done before I come back. And so I took the 50%. But first I took the 100, then I took the 50, and it's just not balancing out. So, but anyway, so I'll get it figured out. Right now Dana's having a heart attack because there's like $77,700 and some dollars that's floating around somewhere and she doesn't know where it is.
Yeah. She did the download and the numbers aren't.
Yeah, they're not the same.
Not the-
The Sugar Bush one didn't come through right. So, so I'm working with the state, and I shouldn't have this problem next year because the state has slapped my fingers and NIMRIC has there's only one spot to put it in, not two, so I can't get it mixed up again.
So what does this mean for
Yeah,
us?
what's
That means that you're gonna be short money.
32,000?
Right, do we know how much?
Or
For
the
100.
tax
We
rate
think-
on
yeah.
32,000?
No,
No,
No, that's
that
the,
is the
you're
tax.
missing the
That's the difference in the-
$32,000.
Yeah.
So we didn't bill for $32,876.57 that we
We
should
billed
have.
for a lot more.
Right.
The 32 is, let's see, the 45 is what you would have lost if I had just done Green Mountain Power. Because they went from,
Right.
I didn't put they were 9 million, they went down to 7 million, thanks to the state. Then Transco, one now is 64 and the other one is a 10. Those were the original bill was $10,112. Then the state said, no, 64,000 had to be one tax rate, so that was the 1793. And I think the way we put this in here screwed everything up. So, Vermont Transco was 10,000, now it's 8,147 plus the 1,793. So you're only losing $1,964 on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so, but the total tax, municipal tax, is just south of 4 million for the year. So this would say, we set the tax rate based on collecting four-ish, a little under 4 million. We're actually gonna collect 32,000 less than we thought we were gonna collect.
Right.
But
Unless I find something else that I messed up.
Right,
But right now.
but it's
we'll
not
go
a,
at this
it's not a
point.
huge number.
No,
But you're not 100%.
no, I would
This
not.
hasn't been sorted out, so it may not be the 32,000.
No,
It is something else.
I firmly believe it is the 32, but it's how
33.
he's got to fix Nimerick and Kama to relate what the real tax bill was,
Yeah.
so,
Nimerick's the accounting software, for
Yeah.
those that don't know that.
yes. Yeah, so, I did a very good job, and I do apologize.
Well, in your defense, the utility taxes were late this year.
Mm-hmm.
So tax bills went out before the state got utility taxes into municipalities.
Which is not helpful.
Which is not helpful.
That seems almost criminal. So can I ask a question there? We cannot at this point send revised tax bills, because I know I have.
Oh, I have sent them out already without your permission, I apologize.
Just to these people.
Yes.
Yeah, not,
Just-
yeah.
oh,
Not to the whole.
But we can't change the
No,
tax
I-
rate.
You can't change the
No,
tax
no,
rate.
you can't, you
Yeah.
can't,
Right.
it wouldn't be worth it to go and
To
redo the
recoup our-
whole.
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'm still missing something. If you sent revised tax bills and they pay them,
Yep,
are we still missing $32,000?
Versus
Yes,
what we set the tax
Because
rate.
we set the tax rate based on
On
an
that.
incorrect grand list
that's
number.
right.
Correct.
So fund balance will be 32,000 less, every other number being equal, which it won't be.
Right.
But every other number being equal, fund balance at the end of the year will be 32,000 less than we anticipated. Which is, not, it's okay.
Right.
Okay.
So if you take Jeff's credit card away from him, you should be all
He doesn't have a
He
credit
doesn't have a
card.
credit card.
We already
We
did
have the
that.
credit card.
That's done.
Okay.
Okay,
And we don't feel like it's gonna happen again because the systems have been fixed and hopefully the state doesn't.
They're locking you out of making these mistakes again. Is that basically what's happening?
Are they doing that
let's
across the board
hope,
or just for us?
let's hope it works on other things too. I mean, you know, there's still quite a bit
I'm
on there
sure-
that I can,
That you can screw up.
And you're not the first, nor will you be the last to make
No.
a mistake.
no,
That's what I keep trying to tell her.
Yeah.
but
Thank you for beating yourself up so thoroughly.
I've had 2 weeks of not much sleep, so I'm
Oh,
trying to figure
Sandra.
out. That's
That's
why I
not
was
good.
really working on sugar bush.
But the biggest,
That would've gave us some money.
Yeah.
the
But
biggest,
that's not fair.
the biggest piece isn't your fault, the Green Mountain Power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
So,
Right.
Right.
Actually,
It's $45,000 worth of this issue. The
I
rest of it
know.
is piddlywinks in
Yeah.
comparison.
Well, and
somebody
Sugar
said
Bush
they
worked
were-
in our favor.
Somebody on
Yeah,
this table
exactly.
said they were gonna take it out of my pay, so I just haven't quite figured out. I don't
Means she's
think
gonna
all
have
the
to work
years,
until she's 125.
I was gonna say all the years I've worked here, I don't think I even made that much.
Do you have that much in vacation you haven't taken?
There you go.
I
Traded
don't-
in?
Probably.
I don't have
You'll get
vacation time.
vacation. Slash
Oh,
that
that's
from
right.
her.
They're
Yeah. Took that right away from me. So,
All right,
okay, I don't
well,
wanna hold you up, but.
All right.
Sandra, your
Well, it's in the
public
past.
blogging is over.
That's
Okay.
it.
right.
And
yes.
I will get to Becky as soon as I get it straightened out and let everybody know.
Thank you for all the work you're
Yeah.
doing.
We'll get the
trying to fix
pillory
it.
ready so that you can be out on the public square.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
thank you very much. Can I be in?
See,
Inside the
what I
pavilion,
said was
yeah.
not so bad.
Yeah, I know.
Compared to that. Jeez.
Way to pull that
Yeah,
word
yeah,
out,
yeah,
by the
thanks.
way.
I know,
Nice
right?
job.
We've seen that in a long time.
Thank you,
All right.
Sandra, for giving us so much joy this evening.
We'll
Yeah.
figure it out, Sandra.
Okay, enough
Okay,
for
I'm
this.
sorry I held
Thanks, Sandra.
everybody
You
up.
tomorrow.
You didn't. Thank
You
you
did
very
not.
much.
Have a good evening.
All right, let's move on to the town administrator update. Rebecca?
That's me. Okay. Jeff, Brent, and I have been talking with some security companies, getting quotes for possible keyless entry into just the municipal building right now, and then exploring that later for the other buildings, but also upgrading our cameras to improve functionality and better meet our needs. Because right now, they're not recording, they're not aimed in the right places. It's just not. It's not working for Brent. Basically, the only camera that works for him is the one that kind of looks into the vault, and it's not even. It's not really working. And then.
Sorry, you said talking to security companies or?
Yes.
Okay.
So at this point, we've talked to 2 companies. And then we're also going to start using the building's alarm system. We're paying for it, and we don't use it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
we're
wondered
going to have
about that.
Black Dog come and sort of. It's very basic, same system we have at home. But we just need to get some buy-in and have people start setting that routine to either set it when they leave at the end of the day or.
Can you make sure to include me in that training,
Yep.
please?
Absolutely.
I think all of
The
us should
covered
be,
bridge
actually.
was hit last week, causing only cosmetic damage. We've got a quote for $2,900 for the repairs. The driver who hit it offered to do the work himself. Well, he offered to pay for it, and now that he knows that the quote number, he's wanting to do the work himself.
Was it just the truck was too high or?
He had
a
some
ladder?
boards sticking out
Oh.
of the back of his truck, and so it basically took out the orange clearance and then the just the trim on the very top.
His insurance should cover it.
So I at this point, I've gone back and forth on emails with him. He wants to come and fix it himself. I don't know what you all want to see done here. It's $2,900. That includes the traffic control, setting up. I mean, it's almost the tallest part of the covered bridge, so it's going to require.
the trim, basically,
Yeah.
around the cutout.
Without getting personal, just because I don't know anything about this, I think who does the repair should be based on what their skills are.
Right.
So just saying, well, the person wants to do it themselves, I can't say, yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Because I don't know what
Their
their
skills
capable,
are.
do they work on historic buildings? Do they, I
Not
don't
that I'm
know.
aware of.
No,
So,
they don't.
They don't.
I
They
get
think
it.
they're also just a one person show, so I'm not sure who they would have to do traffic control. We're down to a 4-man highway department right now.
Yeah.
Andrew's not going to want to come back from vacation and do that.
Who's the 2,900?
Yeah,
Quote
where'd that
from?
quote-
From Parent Construction, they're the ones who did
Gotcha.
the work on it previously. So they're familiar with the bridge, and they can get out here the soonest. So
I hate to be the bad guy, but I feel like we have a lot on our plate and we don't need to add complicating this. I think we know parent did the work, we need to ask for that.
You have to have somebody qualified.
The
Fix
other
bridge.
thing I might suggest, if we're gonna have it repaired again, is maybe we actually get the bar that swings.
the bar that's
So, do you remember when we talked about the safety
Metal
bar?
one?
Remember how Luke spray painted the
Yeah.
2x4 and everybody was like, it's so ugly and we don't like that and we want the real one, and then we just
What
never
was-
did it.
Yeah, but what was the real one?
It's
I didn't
like,
think we
I
ever
wish Jeff
drew.
were still here. It's basically just like an aluminum bar
Like metal,
that's
yeah, right.
neon and it hangs from chains, so there's like a little bit of movement and
Oh,
potential
and it
sound.
has
So
the actual
I
height,
think what
yeah.
happened is that he hit the bar and
that
the bar
is
pulled
attached
the
to it,
trim
yeah.
off of the bridge.
Probably.
Right,
So-
because it was
Yeah,
nailed
so
or
now we have to
screwed
get
to
quotes
the
for
trim.
that,
Well, we
and-
looked at them. They were like $300 or $400. We could ask parent. Either way, it's just a possibility. It might be like it might actually make it cost less because they won't have to reinstall the bar the way they did. I'm not sure. I'm just saying, if we're going to change it again,
Yeah.
it might be beneficial to do it the right way so that the same thing doesn't happen, because the purpose of the bar is to say, hey, you're too tall, but not cause damage.
Totally agree. I will just say, if this becomes a project where then we have to research that and then we have to, figure out, get the parts and stuff, and the bridge is unprotected, I would rather see us just put the bar up.
Yeah, I don't
So,
think it's that big of a deal. I think it's a matter of like ordering one and it's here in a week and they get it done. But we can ask parent, and if it's gonna delay it, then we don't have to do it that way.
Yeah, because right now there's nothing up saying that this is the clearance, because he broke it.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So do we need to move to have parent do it, and then we need to explore our insurance, his insurance,
I think
whatever the options are to pay it?
protocol is, if we know who does it, they're responsible for paying for it.
Okay.
They can deal with whether
Their
they
own
pay for it
insurance,
or their
okay.
insurance pays
Right.
for it, but it's billable to whoever broke it.
Gotcha.
And $2,900 is reasonable in my opinion.
Yep.
And I think we should just move to have parent
Okay.
repair it.
But at the $2,900 repair, even if this costs more to get the aluminum bar.
The town would pick up the difference if
Right.
they put the aluminum bar in.
Yeah,
So-
we
so
need to
we're
order a
saying-
bar and
we're
it's a
saying
$400 bar and
Let the
parent
person
puts
who
it
did
up.
it know that it's
Yeah.
$2,900, and then we'll figure out if we're gonna replace it with the
Yes.
exact same thing or upgrade.
Right.
Okay.
So moved.
Oh.
Let's
Second?
hire parent,
I don't know
repair
if we
the
need to do that.
bridge professionally,
So-
and work with the person that hit it to
Yep,
get payment.
okay.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, in the room and on Zoom?
Aye.
Aye.
Joel?
He's muted.
But he's on Zoom.
Aye. You get that?
Aye.
Oh.
Thanks.
Thank you. All, the motion passes.
Okay, so highway department position, the candidate we offered the position to a few weeks ago declined. So we're still advertising. We've had a few interested applicants, and Andrew and I plan to review them when he gets back
You
from
do have,
vacation
you
on
do have
Monday.
more applicants?
Mhm.
Okay.
There's 3 people who are in the Barry area, so Andrew's not thrilled about that, but we do have a local person who's applied. So he and I plan to talk about that when he's back. As you guys have probably seen my emails, the ICS 402 training has been rescheduled for August 28th from 12 to 4. And the location has yet to be confirmed, so I just want to make sure that we have enough space for all of us to spread out.
Whether it's here or the town hall.
Yeah, it'll be here-ish, but I don't know what building yet.
Okay.
MailChimp system is up and running. I've added emails for all of our committees and boards.
Nice.
I'm hoping,
Get something done.
as I look at Adam from across the room, to give the planning commission a sign-up sheet at the wind down to correct our addresses.
Originally had
Sorry,
Volume.
John and
Party.
Debbie, we're gonna mute you.
Those more addresses for what?
For the MailChimp, for the listserv.
Listen.
Yep. So.
This feels like an historic moment.
I know it does, right? Do you know
This
how
needs to
long
be
we've been
logged
trying to
with
get
the
this
Historical Society. The newsletter is live.
Well, it's
Wait,
not
no,
live, but there's no newsletter
done?
yet.
The mail, the
listserv
listserv is live.
The
Don't
listserv is live.
overpromise.
Sorry.
But I
When
will
is
send
our-
you guys an email.
But when our first newsletter goes out, it's gonna
Yeah, there
be
you go.
printed
Yes.
and framed
Framed.
and on the wall.
Thank you.
We are working with Nancy Sargent on a landscaping plan for the pavilion. There was $3,000 in that budget for landscaping, so Nancy's been working with Dana and myself on a plan.
There are grasses.
So she put some grasses on the inside of the handicap ramp to sort of deter small children from
Nice.
Cutting
going through those
across.
gaps.
Good.
Not make it look like super
Should have used
You know.
rose bushes.
ugly, but
Sorry. I mean, my child would be like, grasses.
we'll keep you guys kind of updated. We're hoping to have some more stuff done before the wind down, and then ultimately before the official, the jazz quartet or whatever they're
Awesome.
planning on. So, yeah, having
Great.
a little bit of issues trying to get plants here in a timely manner. We were hoping like we could take like bits and pieces from other people's gardens, but at this point they're not going to look stellar,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
so we need them to be
true.
newish.
Have you all looked down at the new place in town?
I don't know the answer to that. We'll let sort of Nancy take the lead on this, so. The zoning office will start using the NEMRIC planning and zoning module in early September, with full transition plan for November 1st, which means that the entire town will be on the same system with live updates and shared information at the same time.
Whoa.
Second
You're blowing
historic
our
moment.
minds tonight, Rebecca. What the heck?
Wow.
So everybody's on
Wow.
board, and so fingers crossed that will be a smooth transition. And then, as we all know, the welcome sign was damaged in April, and the town, we went after the person that had the hit and run on the final hit. So there was, one pillar that was standing. It was a hit and run. We knew who did it, so we went after them for some money, and the town's going to receive $1,500 towards that damage.
Great, nice job,
So.
thank you.
And that's it.
Crushing it.
That's all for me tonight.
The sign is up, isn't it?
Yeah, the signs are all up.
Yeah,
They're
the
all-
signs are all up.
Yep, they look great.
We should cross it off the project
I did.
list. You're great.
Good.
Any other things we're waiting on updates for that anyone wants to follow up with Rebecca on? I think I can't
let's
ever
just leave it on a
remember,
high
so
note
I
here.
think it's
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you, thank you. You're good?
Yep.
We are moving on to the dog park event with Eve Silverman. There you are.
You want me to come up to the? Yeah.
You, whatever makes you comfortable is what
Yeah.
you should do, please.
You guys all have a copy of that one, yeah.
We do.
Yep.
This is a good example of why it needs to be made
Typewritten.
electronic.
Yes.
So that you
I
can
know.
fill it out online.
I know,
There's
my
not enough room
handwriting-
for you.
My handwriting is
Your handwriting is
shameful.
fine. There isn't enough
Just
room.
not a lot of space.
Please, tell us about your event, what you're doing, what you need from us, etc.
Okay, so as you guys know, the dog park has been up and running now for a couple of years. Everything's going great. We've been using funds from the amount initially collected. We had some money left over. We've been using that for operation expenses. Our operation expenses are about $4,000 a year. And it includes mostly insurance, lawn mowing, some maintenance, that kind of thing, supplies.
Poop bags,
Exactly.
tennis balls.
Yes. Well, tennis balls we get free from the bridges. The
Great.
spend
Awesome.
balls. And maintenance is all everything's mostly as volunteer as possible. So, however, we're finding that we don't have that many years worth of operating expenses left, and so we wanted to try to establish kind of an annual fundraising event to help us offset those expenses so that we wouldn't have to do like a big fundraising push, just kind of do something. And we wanted to try to fulfill one of the goals of the park, which is a gathering place, a community gathering place, which it has been, but more formal. So we're proposing an event, an annual event. This would be the first time on October 4th with the rain date of October 5th, that we're going to be calling the Rover Roundup. And that event is described here, but I'm happy to review briefly what we propose. What I'm looking for tonight is your approval of the festival permit. And I'm also wanted to ask permission to potentially use a little bit of the land across from the park that's largely wildflowers. Wildflowers end, and then there's kind of more weedy area, just to mow some, so that we have a little more room for people to gather.
I believe this is where we got a little bit hung up last year.
Oh, okay. Last year.
There's strawberries in there.
Last year when didn't we permit it, but it didn't happen? Is that,
That was the
Oh,
frisbee.
yeah.
No, that was the dog agility
Yes.
frisbee
is that
competition.
the same
That's
thing or
Gail.
not the same
No,
thing?
this is a
It was-
different thing. Sorry.
Yeah, this is a different thing, and we said that they couldn't mow because that was a designated pollinator field.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Thank you for reminding me. I didn't
Yeah.
remember that. That's fine. We don't need it. It was something
Yeah.
we wanted.
It's
but-
a pollinator garden
Yeah,
that we,
intentional.
Oh, yeah, I can't really tell anymore, but it looks like most of the flowers end, if you have the dog park here and you have the the other side. It looks like most of the flowers end maybe 3/4 of the way down. But I'm not certain.
Yeah, I think what we said last time was that we were happy to let you use some of the space over on the already mowed lawn area, you know, on the other side of the bollards, which I recognize is kitty corner from the dog park, right behind the parking,
Behind the parking.
towards the
Over in the
softball
field.
toward the
On the-
softball
on the
field.
other
side.
On soccer
Yeah.
field,
Yeah.
yeah, on Brooks
Oh,
Field,
okay,
right?
that's
If you
good to
needed
know.
to
Yeah.
use some space there,
Okay.
I think that's how we had compromised, but that was all about dogs running.
Yeah, that was more
Right.
for training the, or
Yeah.
the
That,
warm-up.
oh,
They needed a
right,
warm-up
right,
over
that was,
there.
thank you, I
Things,
kind of
yeah.
put that whole thing out of my mind. Yeah, that was for like warm up. So this event is all on leash. The only dogs that will be off leash will be either those who aren't following the rules or in the small dog park, we are gonna have like a free play zone. So the event parts, all the contests, all the features, et cetera, would be in the large dog area, the small dog area would be, everyone's gotta be on leash. So if we were to need to ask to use a piece of that other field, it would be all on leash activity anyway, there wouldn't be any off leash.
Do we need to check with the rec group just to make sure
I
that
think
there's no
that that would
conflict?
be a good idea,
Yeah.
just to check with the rec committee and
Yeah.
make sure there isn't something
I didn't
else
see anything on the
planned.
calendar, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just so they have the heads up
Yep.
that we're.
yeah, and I think that makes sense. Where are you planning to put vendors?
So there's only going to be one food truck per se, that's Ben and Jerry's ice cream truck. We wanna do the food ourselves, just cause it's more profitable that way, so like barbecue. Dana, in fact, was gonna be talking to the police department maybe, or the fire department, maybe they might wanna help us with barbecue labor. The vendors would be small potatoes like, you know, local crafters, dog collar people,
Yeah.
or, those we were thinking of putting, when you come into the park, there's kind of a grassy area that we've been mowing that's in front of the park, that's outside. We were thinking of putting them there. And then inside the big dog park would be, a stage, some music, contests, demos, and a few features, the face painting, maybe some crafts. I'm trying to find a dog psychic to come in.
That's a great idea.
You should
Yeah,
ask,
stuff like that.
That'd be great.
Anna, who owns Mountain Rose.
Oh.
She knows a dog psychic.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if she's local or not, but I know
Okay.
she's mentioned that to me before.
Oh, that's fantastic. We're gonna be doing a silent auction. We'll have a big table full of water for dogs and bottled water for humans. It's not all been ironed out yet, we're still a couple months away, but that gives you the gist of what it is. I did talk to, the dog park committee does have our own insurance, and I spoke to our insurance company, and they have approved it. They've also offered us pretty well-priced event policy, so we're gonna purchase that as well. And they poo-pooed some of my bigger ideas like a mechanical bull. So
So-
that won't be happening.
Yes.
Can I recommend that we raffle off license number 1 at this event?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Well, it would only pertain to the town of Warren,
Yeah, which is fine.
and the event will likely have people from the valley
And beyond
and
possibly.
beyond.
Doesn't mean
Well,
you
as
won't
many
still
people
get
as you can get to
many.
pay
Yeah,
for
right,
it is-
exactly.
Is more money.
Just
to
have to
the
make it
pocket.
clear that.
It's a great idea.
I mean, I don't have any objection to that. Is that something
Sure.
that
Right,
Brent
and we'll
would
just
over?
reserve
check
it for
with-
him
check
next
with Brent,
year.
but-
You get your dog is number 1.
Yeah.
It's a great
Town
idea.
of Warren.
Good
I love
idea.
that idea.
That's a great idea.
Let's
Speak
talk
to
to
Brent
Brent
about that.
about
Okay.
that, the town
Yeah.
clerk, please.
Yeah.
Confirm that.
It says sanitation facilities portalet at
Yeah.
dog park, so that's an additional one in addition to what we've done.
Tom Spencer's on our committee, and he's gotten permission from his crew to move the handicap one that's currently at the pickleball tennis courts to the dog park on October 3rd or right before. Those portalets are going to be picked up towards the middle of the month anyway.
Oh.
So it would only be
For a week or two.
for a
weeks,
week.
yeah.
So that would just be moved the once, and then that when Wasted comes to pick up the portalets, they would just get it from there. So we'll have to,
So it's just relocating one.
we're just, relocating it.
There'll still be one down at the tennis courts.
And
And
now
then-
two down at the dog
okay.
park.
One at
The
the dog
handicap
park
will
and
be
one
at the dog park.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that seems like enough. How many people are you expecting?
That's the big question. This is our first year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we plan to do, you know, the typical marketing as far as like calendars and posters and social media. That's kind of hard to know. We do want to go a little bit outside the valley to kind of some of the peripheral towns that are just around. And I think it's fair to expect that we'll get some traffic from those areas, but it's weather dependent, you know, there's so
Yeah.
many question marks.
And it's,
about it.
and it's 5 hours long, so
Yeah.
people may come and go.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Total won't
that's
be all at
expected.
once necessarily.
Yeah, we'll be posting a schedule of events in the Valley Reporter like the week or two before with when the contests are and when the different music is, and folks will come to whatever interests them.
Yeah. I guess as
I'm
far as the
wondering-
portalets are concerned, it makes me a little nervous to just have the two that are there for usual day use, which is
Yeah.
very likely still happening. And then you're adding up to maybe 100 more people. I think it would
Yeah.
be wise to have two available for the event.
Okay.
And one available at least for the rest of the, that would be my thought. But as someone who uses them on job sites, like
Yeah.
someone might be in there for 15 minutes, right?
Right. Yeah, that does happen.
Yeah, so it's something to consider there. I hate to do this, but we've had a number of festival permits lately, and we required certificates of insurance for all food vendors.
So the only food vendor that's not us is the Ben and Jerry's truck.
Right.
I don't think that'll be an
But
issue.
and the issue there is only that Dana was very clear at the last meeting that we can't make our own food, like you can't just sell your own food.
Right, yeah, you need to get a permit, essentially, you need to be permitted as a caterer
Right.
if you're gonna sell it.
Like food safety, from a
Right.
food safety perspective, right?
What if it's a
State.
potluck?
But if you're trying to make any money off of
We're
it.
trying to make, I mean, the
Yeah,
idea
that was
was
why you
to
didn't
just
want to
do
get somebody
burgers and
else.
dogs and brownies and, but yeah, I mean, we would be bringing grills and
Yeah.
getting volunteers to flip
If
burgers.
you're selling it, I think you have to have that certification.
How does that then affect every bake sale ever organized?
And like firefighter barbecues and
Yeah.
pancake breakfast.
We don't
That
have
makes
that for
no
pancake
sense.
breakfast.
Do
No,
you sell the pancakes?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. For the firefighter breakfast, yeah.
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 Is it,
I'd
was,
really love to walk back on
Maybe
this
we need
issue.
an answer to that question.
yeah, let us follow up on that.
Yeah.
And it was our insurance policy that I think was the
I
logic?
think we
or-
need some clarity around that. Also, I'd really love to just,
It's a capitalist
That's
potluck.
It's, well, it's,
I mean, you
a
gotta cover
fundraiser.
your
It's a fundraiser, yeah.
expenses and,
Right.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good cause, and I don't think we wanna put the end to all bake sales
Well,
pancake
and
breakfast.
how is it
No.
different than the firefighter pancake breakfast?
Yeah,
It's the
Right,
same thing.
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I don't think we wanna
Yeah,
kill those things.
Maybe there was some misunderstanding about what she meant
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Because she's part of this.
yeah, in fact, she was going
Yeah.
to be talking to the Rotary had initially offered, but unfortunately they can't do it. They actually do a barbecue like that up at Brooksfield after the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So they are doing that kind of thing, but they couldn't do it, so she was looking at the
You know,
fire
I
department.
think maybe the insurance that you're going to get to cover the event may be enough
Yeah.
yeah.
to facilitate all of it.
Okay.
So let's be clear about that. What else
Can I-
do we want to hit on? Yeah, does anyone have any other questions about the application or concerns?
I was gonna move to approve pending checking with the rec and pending submitting the insurance policy to Rebecca.
So you need a copy of the event policy that we're pulling through our general
Yeah.
liability, that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
With the
I second.
recommendation that you get another portalet.
Kelly seconded that.
Yeah,
So we
Does anyone know what
discussed
the
it.
application fee is?
I'll second that too.
thanks Kaylee.
It's $100,
Yeah.
but we, it's whatever, it's whatever we set it at. It's
Which we have a tendency to waive all
correct.
fees and not get covered for things, but that's
Okay,
another
we have a
subject for
motion
another
on the
You
table.
have a second?
And
We have a
Kelly
second. Do we want to talk about the fee? The standard fee is $100.
Should,
The fee for the
Were
festival.
you aware of that?
for a permit.
I wasn't exactly, but I thought that could be a possibility, and I was hoping to ask if it could be waived. We're obviously trying to minimize our expenses.
I'm okay with waiving it, given that, that they are trying to get on their feet, get ahead of their expenses, because honestly, if dog park can't cover their own fees, they're gonna show up every year at the select board at budget time and ask us for money, so.
Yeah.
So this
If
is
we
a
waive
cheaper
$100,
budget than
They make however many
The dog-
thousand, then they don't ask
The
for it
dog
later.
part's a huge asset to the town,
Totally.
and
It
so we
is.
appreciate everything you do, and it's just, it's a great.
So a friendly amendment to the
Yeah.
motion on the table is to accept the permit and waive the fee, given the confirmation of the certificate of insurance and checking with the rec department to make sure that the space isn't otherwise being used.
Well,
And
and that would
portalet.
just be
Additional
for
The
use of the
additional
field.
An
Space.
additional
Yeah.
portalet.
Yes. The,
Second.
Okay, the motion is on the table with its amended second.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Zoom?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
That sounds fun.
The motion
it
passes.
should be fun, I
Yeah.
hope you guys can
Have
all
fun.
come.
Yeah.
I think if you
great.
get a dog psychic, I don't think I'm gonna miss it.
I know, it's really exciting though.
Harvey and I are on the hunt for puppies.
We are.
Oh, there will, for the love of dogs, we'll be there with puppies.
Oh, they're going.
You bring a dog exorcist for mine.
After you register it, you can have it
I
exercised.
registered. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks. Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
Okay.
Number one.
He registered so
one.
late, he
Well,
is number one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve. All right, cell phone tower upgrade. This is, we received,
There's no paperwork.
Yeah.
Sorry.
oh, sugar, I was counting on
yeah.
that. Will you pull it up? We received a notice from AT&T, otherwise known as Singular, informing us that they had submitted an application to the PUC to upgrade the antennas and the, I'm gonna forget this, RRAs?
RAAs,
RAAs?
dishy things.
The dishy things. They're like the panels that
Yeah, they're panels, they're
Right?
not really dishes, yeah.
on the existing tower on Upper Village Drive. Upper Village Road? I still don't know if it's road or
Upper
drive.
Village
I think there's
Road.
11 panels, they're gonna replace 9 of them, they're old and need
Yes.
upgrades.
They're trying to what did they say? They're trying to promote the LTE usage, which is what they have. All of these panels are old and need upgrading. It's not changing the height, it's not changing the breadth.
Number of panels.
It's not changing the site conditions or the number of antennas or panels. It's just the removal of the old ones and the replacement of new ones.
De minimis, they're calling it.
De minimis improvements,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Yeah.
We're just taking the opportunity to let the public know that this is happening. We don't really have any say. Anyway, so,
I don't think
I
we
don't
can
think
say
there's
no.
much we,
I don't, I don't think there's much we can do. There is a comment process that's available through the PUC. But given that they're just upgrading their existing network, I'm grateful that they're doing so on the existing tower within the existing conditions, and that seems reasonable. Does anyone in the public have any questions or on the board? Cool. All right, village traffic calming, specifically speed bumps. Would you do me a favor? Can we share a screen of the village, like a map of the village, just like Google Maps? So I took the opportunity to work with Andrew Bombard, our road foreman, and we had a lengthy conversation about speed bumps.
I bet you could.
And ultimately, we both agree that it would be more reasonable and cost effective to install permanent speed bumps in the locations we think they will be most effective, as opposed to temporary ones. We're gonna spend a substantial sum on the temporary speed bumps, and it takes quite a lot of time and energy for the road crew to install and remove them. Not to mention, the signage is the same, regardless of whether they're removable or permanent. So, and I think Rebecca has numbers for us.
They're all in your folder.
They're in my folder.
It's the Pike number
Pike.
for the cost.
For the cost of the
Those are
permanent
permanent
ones.
speed
We think the
tables.
permanent ones will be more effective.
So there are a couple of thoughts behind the permanent ones. We all have seen and used the speed bumps up on Inferno and by the golf course, and they're pretty offensive, like they're really jarring. And we know that people go faster over them because they're so small, they have a lower effect. So the speed humps that we are looking at, you know, they call them tables, they're like deeper and more gradual. So if you go over them too fast, you fly or you break something. My thought process there is they're inoffensive if you're going the speed limit.
Right.
If you actually slow down, they really they don't bother
Right.
much. They don't hurt. They don't sound as loud as the other ones. There will be some noise associated with the speed tables.
Do we have pictures of these things?
I don't have any pictures.
I have a diagram.
I mean, there's a
Yeah,
diagram,
they've
but
given
it's
us a
not sure what it's
diagram.
I don't understand the speed bump.
Well, I think,
It's not very helpful.
No.
We had those pictures at bars.
But it's so it's about
It's an incline, a flat top, and a
Yeah.
Yeah, so
maybe
it's
it's
like a
curved.
pyramid, or not a pyramid.
and the total depth of them.
I hope not, but that thing's like 6 feet.
So and they only size 4.
Well, that was just,
So that,
yeah.
Emily's
that's-
is like.
We're lucky we got it.
This should be like.
So,
But we can extract.
oh yeah, totally. This is kind of what a
Oh,
speed
because they
table
gave
looks
us a
like.
unit price.
Yeah.
Understood.
Where's the picture?
Yeah, so here's a speed table hump,
Okay. Picture.
right?
Ish.
They're about 8 feet deep, and the total height, I don't actually see, but,
the height,
oh, here. Proposed road grade.
oh, so it looks like it's a
Profile.
6 foot
These are the ones they
upgrade.
did on Skunk Hollow and
Oh, 6
That should be
up,
fine.
this is the table, right? 10-foot flat
10 foot
and
flat,
6 down
6
again,
up
so
and
that's
6 down.
16. That's the speed table. I'm gonna have to work with Pike on this a little bit because our intention is to, well, my intention was to do speed humps,
they don't do
which
speed humps.
don't
They don't?
flatten.
No, that's his email right there. Sorry.
Yeah, table goes up straight and
This is
down.
installed that we could go.
Oh,
check
he
out?
says he doesn't have plans for speed humps, but figures he could do 3 speed humps for the price of 2 speed tables. Because they're much smaller and they don't have to flatten out at the top. So here's what I was proposing.
That's a
We have
hump.
a map up. Well, y'all are really familiar with the village, so let me start by talking it through. You're awesome. Thank you, thank you,
What's
thank
the
you.
height of the height?
Just trying to figure that out.
I can't quite tell. Harvey's gonna continue to try and understand this while we have this conversation. Okay, so we're at the south end of the village here. On this map.
Is this 4 inches difference?
I was thinking
Say 6 and then
3.
10 and then.
Oh.
So
Oh, no, that's 6
we
feet. 6
we
feet,
were
10 feet,
discussing,
6 feet.
Andrew and I think having one at each
But it looks like
entrance
it's
to the
3
village.
inches.
So on the
Height-wise.
south end, sort of somewhere right here where the straightaway begins
Hard to read.
through the village. Can you all see that? Right, so you come down the hill off of 100 and then it straightens out for quite a while and people speed up. So thinking somewhere right in here. My preference is to install it somewhere that
I
isn't
think it's 3 inches.
directly in front of a house if possible
Yeah, 3
to help mitigate noise.
Like this is
However,
the
a
hump
lot
right
of this
here.
is gonna be dependent on DigSafe and where we can actually place signs. So that's the south end of the village. Sorry, I'm a Mac user, so this keypad is different for me. And then up on the north entrance to the village, in order for people to have enough sightline for the sign, right? So if the sign is gonna have to go somewhere sort of around here,
It must be. but it
then
doesn't
the
look like it.
the speed hump ends up somewhere on that downhill slope between Trout Hollow and well, and like just past the Washingtons probably, right? So one
before
here.
the bridge, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes, before the bridge. Before Trout Hollow,
Oh,
on the north end, right? So after Trout Hollow if you're traveling north.
okay.
The intention here is to kind of place them strategically so that you're slowing down as soon as we feasibly can get someone to slow down before they come into the village.
Just
a
an
question?
update.
Yeah.
If we went with these tables, which again are 6 feet up, 10 feet flat, 6 feet down, the way they have it diagrammed, it's only 3 inches high at the table part.
Guys in Broad.
I just looked this up online and it said that the height is dependent on how much you want to slow people down.
Yeah, I think the one at Emily.
So like, what is the optimal amount that you're looking at? Is it a 15 to 20 or more?
Right. Okay.
Are you
We need a
saying
little-
3 inches high?
Well, that's what the diagram here says, yes.
How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, the manhole cover there right now is.
I think we can
So,
hold our information.
I think what Kaylee is saying is that the height can be determined on by how much of an obstruction we want them to be, and will likely require a site visit from Pike to advise on what that would look like. Furthermore, the speed hump, which is what I'm proposing at all of these entrances, which they think cost less than these speed tables, are a little bit different. As you saw, they're not quite as deep. They just sort of go up and down instead of flattening out. That's what I'm proposing at the entrances. So we've covered the north entrance. Let's go to the Brook Road entrance, and then I want to talk about the other 2 tables that I'm proposing here. So coming down Brook Road, Dump Road enters. There's some discussion about should it happen before Dump Road or should it happen after? And where Andrew and I sort of landed was that it should come somewhere here before the school road. Potentially between those 2 houses on the river side of the road. That gives both people from Dump Road and Brook Road good visibility of a sign saying it's there and slows traffic from both of those roads down right before the school road. So that slows us down once we get into the village. If anyone's driven on Cochrane Road through Jonesville and into Richmond, they've placed these speed humps like every, I don't even know.
I know.
Like
That's crazy.
every 300 or 400 feet. And what I've noticed as a driver is they happen as soon as you would be speeding up again. I personally don't have an appetite for that right now in the village. But I do think there are two other places that could seriously benefit from a speed table, which is the flat top that they're suggesting, that doubles as a crosswalk.
I was just gonna say that, okay.
Because we've been having the conversation about the crosswalk sign at the bottom of the trail from the school is in the way, the road crew can't get by it, people are stealing it, running over it, etc. If we make that speed table the crosswalk, we have signage that has to go in, it's permanent, they have to slow down, it feels like we could pet two dogs with one hand.
Yeah. Is the signage blinking lit up signage? Or is it
Not,
just reflective signage?
I'm not proposing blinking signage right now. I recognize that Waitsfield has recently approved that.
Yeah.
I feel like
Just
we could start
wondering
here, and
where
if
you're-
we needed to go there,
I
we
don't
could.
think So I'm just wondering.
It's hard
Yeah.
for people living on that street
Right.
to have
Yeah.
that blinking.
Yeah. I'd love to be
Yeah.
able to minimize signage,
Me too.
Yes.
which is one of the
As
reasons it
possible.
feels like having an obstruction makes sense. So that puts it right about, this is Kinney's, right? So that crosswalk and speed table would be basically here. That would then connect to our striping, right? So into the pedestrian way. And then the other place that we know is problematic is at the post office. Again, that's the same long straightaway, suggesting a table there. And we need to be more strategic about its location than where the current crosswalk is. Because the current crosswalk goes to a triangle of garden and there's nowhere for someone to walk, right? So say, even, especially someone like in a chair is using that crosswalk, there's nowhere to go from there. So I would propose moving it north, having it connect with the existing sidewalk over just south of the fire department parking lot. So it basically that sidewalk ends at the post office and the crosswalk is right there. And it leads toward the northerly entrance to this building.
So it leads you to the fire department.
It leads you to, well,
Parking
to the,
area.
well, that's a bit odd because the parking area turns
Yeah.
into the road.
So you're not talking about it going there.
I am. I'm talking about it basically coming to our road here, and then we could even, stripe the pedestrian access up Cemetery Road, which would probably be a good idea. And
So
that
is-
would connect to that crosswalk.
Is this a full right angle, or are we talking about an angled one? So coming off,
I think
like before you get to the post office and then you cross.
right before,
I'm
like you
picturing-
come off the sidewalk to the post office, and it's right there.
It is right across from that? At the bottom of
That's-
our,
I don't know.
I feel like that's the parking for the
The-
fire department.
Let's zoom in.
Is right across.
The driveway for the fire department, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
tree is
Yeah,
in the way.
I think it would have to angle.
So I'm thinking it goes right here.
So that's into the fire
That's into the fire
department's
department's parking area.
parking area, which just doesn't feel safe. to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah,
I mean, it could be right here, and then, where,
but isn't that,
where does one begin and the other ends?
what?
Where does one begin and the other ends? Right here.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, we could define
I'm thinking of
that.
the doors, so that the.
So making sure that it
The
is
barrier.
south of the corner of
Yeah.
the building, basically, right?
Yeah,
Right.
but that might, will that,
I think
Line
it's
up
pretty
with
good.
the parking?
I think it mostly lines up, right? Because that's the furthest parking spot over,
it?
or is it?
I don't know, it's hard to tell under the trees
Yeah.
there.
It's under the tree.
Can we
Yeah.
do street view?
I suspect that I feel like when you come off the sidewalk, you're straight across
No.
from the fire department.
Did I do this correctly?
What's down here?
Come on. Let me go. What? Let me go here.
Blue line, so there's no street view.
Is that
If
how
you
I know?
went over- We don't want it to,
And I can pull it up here, but nobody else is gonna see it, so.
So, I mean, it really doesn't show us.
I mean, I
not gonna
suppose
show
it's
us
not the
anymore.
end of the world if it is on the edge. I mean, it's just fire trucks could be coming out.
if it's, so where your lockers are and stuff, you don't have,
Right.
that side of it, you don't have trucks coming out of it.
Right, so
But
the-
people
the
park
bay that's
there. You guys
closest-
park there,
To Cemetery Road,
right here.
there's
Yeah.
no truck in.
Right.
So you
if
could
went
put it
to
there.
that part,
Yeah, so
And there's
I
people
mean, I
parked
just
there.
think it's a lot safer than like this,
Yeah, no, I
right?
agree.
It
Yeah.
literally dies into like a ditch.
Yeah. And you don't want
Tricky
it,
because you've got the post office, people are constantly backing out of the post
I
office.
know, I know.
Which
Yeah.
is the argument for the speed table, right? Are you suggesting that you're then backing over the speed table
Yes.
unnecessarily?
Somebody
And
crossing the
so,
road.
so if
Yeah.
that's the case, does it move
Yeah, no.
to the
South
southern
side.
end?
That's what
Yeah.
I was
How do
kind
you
of
go up the
thinking.
hill?
But then you're in no man's land on this side of the road.
Well, there's a sidewalk.
Sidewalk.
There's a sidewalk here.
You just
and
have to
you
cross
could-
behind all the
and you-
cars at the PO to come across. And nobody will
Which
do
kind
that.
of defeats the purpose.
Which nobody will do.
And
They will
someone
just cross
got
anyway.
hit
Yeah.
the other day.
Recently?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then do you do it further?
Andrew and I talked this through for quite a while, and he and I decided that the best possible solution there, knowing we need a crosswalk, is at the northern corner of the parking, of the southern terminus of the sidewalk where it comes to the post office. Putting it right here.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
that is the bay the fire department doesn't have a truck in. Not that the fire department
And,
can't drive
I
on the
mean,
sidewalk anyway.
The fire department is super conscientious of human beings.
We
They're
really
literally
are.
like
We are
rescue
s-
people,
we
right?
do.
And fire trucks are enormous. So if somebody's
They have
trying to
bright
cross the
lights,
road, when the
sirens.
fire truck is backing out, I'm sorry, but like,
You'd be
Fire trucks
surprised.
Don't back out.
I
all I'm
am
gonna
We don't
say.
surprised,
They don't
but,
back out
We
anyway.
back in, but, yeah.
so,
So.
That's
so-
my
so really-
proposal.
Okay, so but just going back to Marilyn's, just to make sure that where we put it isn't where cars are gonna be backing onto it from the
They
post
may.
office.
I think they may.
Well, maybe they don't have to. Can it be, does it have to be at the end of the
But if we,
sidewalk, or can
to
it
do
be a
that,
little
we'd
bit
have to
further
put it all the
down
way
off
on
the sidewalk?
further north bays where the,
If,
there's more trucks.
if you go further, you're then dumping it in, you're in the parking areas when you start crossing. And you're dumping it out into the middle of the
No, no,
road.
if you
If you go the other way,
I'm talking about
This way?
Yeah.
further north, so you don't come
Yeah.
all the way to the post office,
But, so then you're gonna cross in front of the fire station.
yeah.
which we just said maybe isn't such, if you're, I mean, either way, you're gonna cross in front
That
of
might
the
be
fire
better than
Right.
people backing up over
station.
it.
Yeah, because people backing out of the
Yeah.
post office are not gonna be as conscious.
People will know
It's
when the
hard.
fire trucks are
I have
coming
trouble,
out.
like,
So,
Keeping
so,
track of everything.
and we want to be mindful of like how people are gonna genuinely use it, right?
Mhm.
So coming from the municipal building, lots of people park up here to go to the post office. Are they going to
they're
walk
not
to
gonna use it.
Probably jaywalk.
What's the fire department, do they have any opinion about where it goes?
Harvey, do you have an opinion about where it goes?
Well, I mean, ideally, you wouldn't put it in front of the bays, but that still may be better than putting it where
Right.
cars are gonna back over it. I mean, neither is perfect, but
Where is it gonna be
which
safest?
one's less bad, I
is
would
the-
say.
Right, less bad.
The
I'd
trucks,
like
the
to
fire
see it
trucks don't come out that
On this
often,
side?
Yep.
and they have bright lights and
So like when I go
sirens.
down to the post office, I use
Go
that,
to the big-
that side.
Yeah.
People backing out of
in front
the
the fire station and then
Post
go
office
down.
happens all the
Right.
time, and
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the northern entrance to the municipal lot? And then, you're walking down here and you just stay this way and
A lot
walk
of people
over.
use that, I mean, I see that all the time, and
Yeah.
so that makes, to me,
more sense.
the most sense.
Yeah, it's the question of which user are we appealing to? Are the ones coming from here going to the post office, or the ones, the theoretical people who are downtown?
the theoretical
and-
people downtown are already on the sidewalk. going to the post office.
If they're going to the post office.
Or they're coming to the municipal
Yeah, are
building.
they coming up here?
Right.
But we're not trying to encourage people to park at the Warren store and then just come hang out up here, right? So we
Right.
want them to park here.
Yes.
So I think it does make probably more sense
Well-
to encourage it.
You're avoiding the fire
Here.
department, you're avoiding
Yeah.
people backing over it.
Right, and they still have to cross behind the cars
That seems
at the
better.
PO.
Yeah.
And generally, that's an area where the, you know, the post office trucks go in and out, which they don't do, you know,
All
they do
day
it.
long.
Exactly.
They do it a couple of times.
Right. And they're that much further away from the cars
Yeah.
backing out.
That makes the most sense.
Get them away from the cars, yeah.
Okay, I agree. I like that. So for all 5 of these speed tables, we're thinking, or 2 speed tables.
Devin,
Yeah.
I just had a question. Is it kind of an all or nothing? Like we need to do permanent ones for all of them? Or can we test out a few? Like,
So after extensive conversation with Andrew, he and I felt like if we want them, we should just put them in. Because using the temporary ones is going to be, it's going to be almost as much money, $20,000 worth of temporary speed bumps, which is what Pike's proposal is for these 5. And plus labor from the road crew. You still need all the signage. And it damages the road base because you drive the spikes in and then you remove them in this winter, and that allows water infiltration into the sub-base of the pavement, which damages the roadway. It also means you don't have them in the winter. And I don't see people going slower in the winter.
Especially Friday nights when they come down,
Right,
you know.
right,
Friday night parade.
right.
Yeah.
From Roxbury.
Yeah.
And you know, the road crew doesn't love them. They're all on board. They have to just be a little bit slower plowing them. They have to straighten their blades to go over them instead of keeping them angled through the village. But it is a solvable problem.
And don't they have to be removed and reinstalled every year?
The temporary
If we did the
ones
temporary,
would,
yeah.
yes.
So that's a lot of labor.
Yeah,
It's a lot of labor.
Yeah.
It's expensive,
So
yeah.
it's-
So the question on the table really is, do we want speed humps? Do we want these speed bumps? Or should we put $20,000 more toward enforcement?
I think
No.
bumps are the only, it's,
No,
yeah.
no.
I think
And
bumps
I
will
love
slow people
doing
down.
them with
Put something in the
crosswalks,
middle of the
too.
road, it's the only
Yes,
thing that-
Kaylee,
yeah.
what would you like to say?
I think it was Alice.
Oh,
Alice.
Alice,
It was
hang on one
Alice.
second. Oh, okay. Alice, please. Hi.
Because of me living down here and the issue around the post office is always going to be an issue in my mind because you got a triangle there basically. So where do you put and the fire department? But I want everyone to be aware that one of our local citizens was backed into the other day coming out of the post office. So my feeling is, yes, we all cross there. I mean, why don't we just not do the speed bumps there and more signage? There's really no sign there saying there's a crosswalk. I don't think, and plus, like Devin, you said, it goes right into the garden. And maybe the speed bump, and I don't know if you and Andrew talked about it, because it's another issue down at Flatiron, that intersection, crossing there. It's a tricky intersection to go in and out of, mainly because of visibility of people turning into Flatiron and coming out. The other thing that's going on Main Street right now, because I've told a couple of people we may have speed bumps, and they're all panicking, and then they laugh and they say, well, we have 2 natural ones now right here.
Yeah.
Those culverts are out, and you ought to hear the trucks if they hit that too hard. I mean, stuff is flying all over. So I don't know when that's going to be repaired, but
Which
it's
culverts,
just-
Alice?
what?
Which culverts are you talking about?
Oh, over by, right across the street from me, basically.
Oh.
Between the Grooms and my house
Okay.
in there. There's 2. One, I have a feeling that they're going to want to do some real work on. It's sinking lower and lower. it's gotten kind of bad in the last few weeks.
I think
So,
it's on Andrew's list.
So, that's an interesting thought with respect to not doing a speed table at the post office, and just moving the crosswalk and improving signage there. That's certainly an option. I think my intention was it's a high traffic area and it slows people down prior to the intersection with, or, you know, like, because you have to slow down whether you're exiting the speed hump or entering the speed hump. So it slows people down coming into the densely populated village center and Flatiron Road.
Coming from the south, especially because there wouldn't be the cobblestones
Right,
right before.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Could we talk a little bit about the northern gate of the village connecting with Route 100?
Yeah.
So,
What, except, sorry, Adam, Alice, does that address your concern about that one, or was there something else you wanted to say?
well, I'm not sure what you're saying. You're gonna put one in around the post office. My feeling is the post office with people backing out slows down a lot of traffic, period. I mean, you have to, otherwise you're gonna hit them. And so, it's an interesting dilemma there. We've all thought about it, village residents, how to deal with that intersection. I'm not sure a speed bump right there is really gonna, I mean, obviously it's gonna slow everyone down, but I'd rather see signage for the crosswalk. A lot of people, there's no real sign down there unless I'm blind. It's just the markers.
We have a speed bump, it'll have to have a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, speed bump. will
So
require sign.
Alice is suggesting that maybe we don't do the speed table by the post office, but rather move the crosswalk and improve the signage.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that.
I will say though that there are nights when the fire department's out washing their trucks and they watch people go by at
That's
least 50 miles an hour.
that's the other piece of this.
It's
I
so
mean, I've
dangerous.
seen them go so
We're never
fast.
gonna
I'd like a
stop that.
speed bump.
I mean, what I'm
Yeah.
seeing here on weekends now, I mean, we all used to be so grateful that Route 100 bypassed the village, but right now the village is just being hit hard. And I feel like, you know, you're on 89. Some of these people go flying through.
Which is why
And
we need a
Yeah,
speed
so
bump.
I think, and I mean, my proposal here, Alice, is to at least start a solution to this. And,
Yeah, I know.
you know, these speed humps are gonna last until we repave the road.
Right.
So we're on a 7-year paving schedule. It's been 2.
Yeah.
We're looking at a 5-year trial here.
And
Um,
could I just say, when
yeah.
Alice mentioned that that will come right into the garden, she mentioned it won't come into the garden, it comes into the road.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Right now, no, she was saying right now.
Right
it
now,
comes
I
into
would
the
say,
road.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
The new one
Would
come
move into the
Yeah.
second road, the southern.
Right.
Adam, before I get to you, I just want to make sure Kaylee has an opportunity to say what she wanted to say.
I agree with Alice. I feel like I love the idea that speed humps will slow things down, but I also wonder what the cost of that is that we're not thinking about, like in terms of the pedestrian or the bicycle experience, and in particular, having the speed hump location. This is talking about the other location, but the one on Brook Road coming down after dump, that, because of visibility, does worry me a little bit in terms of having a speed hump down at the bottom of that hill.
Well, it won't be right at the bottom of the hill. There are requirements for how far
Yeah.
in advance of the speed hump you have to put a sign. So everything will have appropriate site distances, which means these locations we're discussing have to be approximate, and determined, you know, on site, making
Okay.
sure we can see from, I'm not sure, Andrew and I are gonna check, but we think it's at least like 20 feet of
is,
sight
yeah, I
lines
think
or
so.
something like that.
Something to consider.
And
Main Street is scheduled to be paved in 2026.
Well, there is
Oh.
there is almost no possibility that this will happen
Before.
before
2026.
2026.
Right. So,
So,
just something.
it would be
so
a
it's
7-year,
something that we would be
7-year, in other
approving.
words.
Okay, right, it would be a 7-year,
It would
so
go in
thank you
and
for
then
checking
it'd be the
that.
beginning of the pavement.
We would be approving it to be done when we pave Main Street next year.
Yeah, I'd just like to, you know, state the obvious here, but I really feel like this speeding problem is something that we have tried every which way to get people to slow down. And in the beginning, I'm pretty resistant to the speed hump, speed bump, speed table thing. I just don't see any other way, short of hiring a permanent, patrol car to
Yeah.
sit, and even then, they can only be in one place. We have to put something in the road to slow people down, because otherwise, they really just, they forget. Signs
Yeah.
don't mean anything. Even, honestly, even if you get a ticket, it's your habit, whatever your habit is.
Yeah.
I think this is the answer.
I'm in agreement with you.
Hey, Devin, can I say something?
Yes, please, Joel, what would you like to say?
I'm just curious if we should think about this one by the post office and not try to couple it with a crosswalk. I understand the one over by Kinney's house makes sense to make it into a crosswalk, but if we want to have a speed table in the middle of the town, it might make sense not to make it into a crosswalk. Just move it further south past the post office into that longer stretch there, and just have it be a speed table and not have to do two things at once.
How does that feel to, say, Rebecca? Do you guys feel like you'd have a crosswalk anyway? We could move the crosswalk striping
Right.
to
What
out
we
of
were
the
talking
garden
about.
anyway, and just not have it be
Right.
right?
Yeah, we could. My thought process was minimizing signage, because if you have the signage for the speed hump and the crosswalk on the same pole, it's just one set. But that's not an end all be all. That doesn't have to be the reason we do it that way. If it makes more sense
One more thing.
to put the crosswalk somewhere else that is more logical, and then the speed hump instead of a table would probably go
Down by the library.
down by past the library before the covered bridge. Somewhere
All the
near
way
where
down
the
there?
interpretive panel is.
I was thinking over by
say
the
in this
library.
little stretch,
Yeah.
between the town hall,
Actually, where those
municipal
I
building.
feel like that's where they gain their speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Alice,
It's right
where
there.
where are you thinking?
I see them getting speed where those culverts are
Yeah.
sinking in, and they can't do it anymore. So that actually would be a very good area for a speed bump once those culverts get fixed.
So that would be just north of the covered bridge.
Like where the sidewalk starts, basically.
Yeah, right. You're right where those culverts are now. Can I just say one more thing about putting one again? I don't think that's a good idea down near the post office. You've already got the post office and the fire station. There's just so much going on there right now, and more, and because people are busy going in and out. But I think, they're already slowing down if they're coming from the center because of the cobblestones, and so I think we should give that area a break and really concentrate on a crosswalk there, because we're all crossing the street there. Everyone that lives in the village, that's where we cross.
I think that's a
In that
good idea.
area.
And so, am I sharing this screen?
Yeah.
Can Alice see it?
Ask her.
I can't.
You can't.
I can't. Well, if you could put the screen
I'm
up
gonna
a
put
little
this-
higher.
You made it up.
Yeah. Hang on, we're
You
gonna
can
share.
tell me, I
We're gonna
pretty
share
much-
them out. But I think I like this idea of separating the crosswalk and the speed hump,
Yeah.
having the speed hump in a more strategic location, and just moving the crosswalk somewhere that makes more sense.
The only thing I don't like is the additional signs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see a way
But it's
around
not the
that.
end of the world.
No, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, we never liked signs.
Can you see that now, Alice?
Yeah, I'm at the bottom of Fuller Hill,
Okay,
Main Street.
so are we talking about somewhere in here?
I'd go further back, you see where the dam used to be, and then go even a little more south, right in there. That's where the culverts are, right in here,
I think
that
I see
area.
the crack in the road.
Probably there's two now. It started out as one, now there's two, and boy, I know it's ticking off some of these construction guys, because you don't see it.
Right, well, that's the
But
thing.
is it slowing them down? I just worry that they're going through it there and then they're picking up speed because there's nothing again until the post office.
Crosswalk.
Yeah, that's true, but you've
And-
got
those
Fuller Hill
straightaways.
coming off, and
But but Alice, if
Right
we
there.
put it here, then we're catching the traffic off Fuller Hill as well.
That's true.
Who aren't
Yeah.
signing.
Slow
Yeah,
down
no,
there.
I just feel moving it out of the post office area is a better
Yeah.
idea than having it right
I
smack
get
there.
that. As long as, yep, I get that.
I think that's a good idea.
I agree.
And make it a speed hump.
And you'll have
Yeah.
to
Yeah, speed table.
talk
So-
to the road crew about a better spot. I don't know, because when they're plowing,
For plowing.
you know, they're coming down off of Fuller Hill and they swing down to the north, so.
Well, again, it's
it-
those sight lines, right? So it's gonna have to be, you know, the sign is gonna be like here, and then it's gonna be 20 feet until you get to the actual crosswalk,
Oh, I see.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, you guys can work that out, but I just wanted to put in about the post office area.
Thanks, Alice.
Okay, that's awesome. That's super helpful. Thank you.
Poor Adam.
Does everybody agree with that? Does that seem like a good approach?
So I motorcycle a lot through town, and I
Yeah.
have to slow.
But you're not the guy popping wheelies going
No,
city.
not really. I'm a
Alright.
wheelie soundbite, but, I have to slow down for those culverts below the speed limit.
Yeah.
So I accelerate back up to 25.
Right, to get
approaching
back
the
up to the
post
speed
office.
limit.
But Alice is right, those two culverts or if you're in the wrong vehicle, if you're not in a.
Yeah.
a big
Well,
vehicle.
they'll get fixed, and there's no signage. So I think part of the issue there is that people are hitting them and they aren't expecting it.
Well, I know they're there, but they're so far south that you pick up speed again. And
I
then
see,
go to the
I
post
see.
office.
Right.
So the speed hump probably should be a little further north.
More toward the library, on the other side of Fuller Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, which is what I think we're suggesting, sort
Yeah.
of here. Okay, so my hope is that we can coalesce around moving forward with
Did
this.
Adam have?
Adam,
wanna go back to
sorry.
Adam?
It's fine. I think that all these speed bump locations make sense, especially the ones that we just reviewed. And I desperately want them as well. I see people flying through the village. But at the northern entrance, I feel like it's less or something that would be more effective and something that's being discussed with the advancements that we're making with the trail systems, like with Mad River Path and things like that. Eventually, there's going to be, because of the Mad River Path, there will be the byway starting right at that northern gate of the village, right?
Well, actually coming to the park and ride, but
So
yes.
there's already, yes, so from the park and ride and connecting and going over Route 100, somewhere there will be a planned pedestrian crossing, correct? So with that comes an opportunity for road narrowing, but before that, we could do it with just painting lines. So road narrowing.
Can I
would-
just pause you, because this is the most perfect segue into the next part of our traffic calming conversation.
Sure, okay.
Next on the agenda.
Next on the agenda.
Because we're gonna get to that, we have a proposal from
Okay.
VHB, but I wanna settle the speed humps, if that's
But still
okay.
on the speed bumps,
Okay,
if that whole connector, which is really wide, and people could take multiple different lines. I could take the inside racer line, or I
Yeah.
could take the outside sweep, or I could do anything in between.
Yeah,
There are so many lines to
Yeah.
take.
it's bad.
If we narrow that, then that's already slowing people down. So now they've come off of Route 100 and they've entered into the village already at a slower speed because of the road narrowing. So technically they're now slowed down. I think after that, if we now have more signs of reflective, like speed bump ahead, like here's the sign to warn you that there's another sign warning you that there's a speed bump ahead. It's like such an American solution, which doesn't really work because people ignore them. Like, people don't read those signs. Well, I mean, okay, you read a speed bump sign, but anyways, it's a visual
Obstruction.
nuisance in
Yep.
my opinion, where people are entering into our village. It's an opportunity for us to, just in that area, sort of be intentional. You know, yes, it's important to slow people down, but it is also important to have like a welcoming approach into the village rather than all these like barriers and barricades and bumps and signs and
So are you suggesting
lights.
that you would get rid of the speed bump and do the
I
calming instead?
I would love to road narrow and then do a little strip of that nice cobblestone. I know that it's more of a maintenance issue.
And I think it's a
But we-
timing thing too, Adam.
We,
I
okay.
think that the narrowing,
It's
So I have, there are a couple of things here, Adam. One, we can only narrow so much because we have to allow for a tractor trailer to enter
to
the
do the
village.
turning radius. Yeah.
So I want to address that and talk about what we're going to do there, because we have a proposal to look at that section. And it is one of the narrowest and most dangerous sections for pedestrians in the village. And to that end, because I hear you on the signs, like we
Yeah.
all hate the signs, but to that end, slowing people down there is of the utmost importance because you cannot get out of the way.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
on a bridge, you're over a cliff, you're up against a wall,
Yeah.
there's nowhere to go. And you are literally taking your life in your hands.
and it's not a good sight line there.
Yeah.
When you're coming into the village.
Yeah.
So
safety
if-
being number one,
Yeah.
definitely. Like that's why.
I
it's
just
like-
think that it's time that we prioritize pedestrian safety in the village over car comfort.
Yes.
I think that's
Oh,
where
yeah,
we are now.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah.
just wondering, like,
let's
what-
continue the conversation
Yeah.
about that section because it's really important and it's super tricky.
I think the road narrowing conversation will.
Yeah, and we're gonna get there. What I'd like to see us do tonight is coalesce around moving forward with speed tables.
Can we recount them? Because I come up with 4, they've quoted 4, and you keep saying 5.
So there's the hump coming down the Brook Road.
Yeah.
There's the hump coming in from the north end of the village.
Yeah.
There's the hump coming in from the south end of the village.
Yeah. And, yeah,
This one we just talked about.
one we just talked about by the
No.
library,
No, the south
north of
end.
Fuller Hill.
Okay, you did not get
Way,
to that one.
I started with that one.
Oh,
That's okay.
okay.
We,
I
you
didn't
know,
see
it
that
went, it went
Okay.
away in our mind. It's okay.
Oh, wait, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I didn't, we
Oh.
missed that one.
I should have gotten you all warmed up with some mental exercises first. I apologize. Okay, so right here, coming in on the south end of Main Street, you come down the hill and
One right
putting
there.
one like
Before that
right
straightaway.
here, right at the
Okay.
beginning of the straightaway, setting the tone. Hey,
5, yeah.
we're in the village.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed
And
that
on
one.
the way going out, right? Because this is a little bit blind, and
Yeah.
people do walk here, and they do that whole loop.
Yeah,
So there's each entrance is 3.
yep.
And now we've changed one of the tables to a hump. So a hump near
No.
the bottom of Fuller Hill, and then one speed table that doubles as a crosswalk at the bottom of the school trail.
Gotcha. Yep, thank you.
And I'd really love to get board approval to move forward and put it on the list for Pike to do.
And the height of the tables would be set based upon the speed that we're incenting people to slow down to. So the 3 inches is just.
That was just an
That's
example
just an
that-
Yeah,
example.
I think
They're gonna
that-
set
I
it so
think
that it will
that's a
slow people down.
conversation we need to have with Pike.
With
Hey,
Pike, yeah.
how high should this
Right.
be if it's a
To
pedestrian
make people
crosswalk?
slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where's this coming from?
We have
We don't
currently
have
the
a
grant.
final number, because this is for 4 speed
It's,
tables.
yeah, except that the email that goes with it suggests they can do
Right, but we don't
3
have a
speed
number.
humps for the price of 2 speed tables. So we're looking at somewhere around $20,000 to Pike.
For 3 humps and 2 tables. Right.
That's with, well,
No, 4 humps.
it
and
was
1 table.
originally 3 humps and 2 tables is what I asked for a price on. They rushed this to us.
Yeah.
So we know it's somewhere around the $20,000
Yeah, yeah,
range.
yeah.
And we need to get clarity on what it would actually be based on what we just decided. And we need some understanding of signage. I think that falls on the road crew.
It does.
So there's, 20K to Pike, and then there's gonna be a cost for signage.
But we
Which
have 80,000 left on our grant.
we have lots of
Or
money in the
90,000.
grant to do this.
So this is all under the grant. We don't know that.
So here's my,
Uh-oh,
why not?
uh-oh.
I'm gonna look, but go, keep talking.
Well, speed tables and humps were always part of VHB's proposal.
Okay.
So I'm like 99.9% sure that we can use the
That's
grant
pretty
money for this. the issue is the grant expires in December.
right.
And we want to install these next year. So my proposal would be to prepay Pike to do the work and spend the money
Fine.
before the grant is up.
Yep.
And put it on the schedule.
Yep. I think that's a good idea. I was just,
Or, I mean, it doesn't only have to be Pike, we're gonna have to put it out to
We're gonna have to get
RFP.
bids, right, yeah.
I was just trying to figure out which ones are tables and which ones are humps, so the,
Only the crosswalk is the table because it's
Oh, that's
it's
it.
deep
Okay.
enough
Yeah.
to facilitate
and the rest are humps.
Yep.
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
crosswalk.
Yeah.
The rest are all humps.
Okay. So I would move to spend up to $30,000 on the humps and table that we discussed, leveraging the grant, ensuring that we pay before the end of the year so we can use the grant money.
There is also a
And we have-
possibility that we'll get an extension on the grant, but we won't know until they meet in September,
Mid-September.
which just feels like tomorrow.
We can do that.
What?
We can spend the money and then have the grant pay us back.
We always do that. I mean, we always
As long
spend.
as
If the
the,
costs
as long as the
incur in this year, if we don't get the extension, as long as we have the costs
incurred in this
incurred
year.
in this year before December 31st, we'll get reimbursed.
With a signed contract,
Yeah.
of course.
So,
I would- I would
sorry.
second the motion.
And then it has to go out to RFP.
Yes.
Correct.
So we're moving to spend up to $30,000 and start the RFP process.
For 4 humps,
For
1
4
table,
humps and 1
and
table.
signage.
Yes.
Okay, but just to be clear,
To be
the
installed.
signage is not part of the RFP.
Correct.
The signage is not part of the RFP.
Is it part of the 30,000?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have a second?
I seconded.
Good.
Any further discussion?
Kaylee, Joel?
I'm just one quick thing. I feel like the table, the bump that we're talking about on the southern end of the village, that's sort of by Fuller Hill. It somehow feels like that should be a table to me, just as like a user experience within the town. Like I'm thinking about the 4th of July and all the things that are going to have to go over this hump, and like sort of the usability of our sort of main street area. From bicycle point of view or whatever, and like having these humps be the perimeter of the town and sort of within the town, it's like a little bit more gradual and a little bit more like easy, but not, obviously it's going to slow people down, but like the sort of the aggressiveness feels a little bit less aggressive to me. I don't know. That just came up for me. I was just want to push that out there, but other than that, I'm
I
totally in
agree.
favor of doing it.
Yeah, I like that too, Joel. Having it less aggressive.
Which one are we talking about?
This one at the
Fuller
bottom
Hill.
of Fuller
Fuller
Hill.
Hill.
So basically, the village is bordered by humps, and anywhere we add within the village,
It'd be
it's
a
a
table.
table. And so just to extrapolate on that, Joel, like 4th of July, people are standing along the edge of the road, they're standing on the table, not trying to stand on this funny hump.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think that's good, and maybe those are lower profile, right? Maybe we stick with like the 3-inch so that they're minimal. I don't know. Mike,
Just thinking about your comment about guys when they're washing the trucks, seeing the people fly through town.
right,
I don't think being aggressive is a bad thing at all, because those people don't care, they're just flying, so you gotta
Right.
slow them down,
right.
period.
What's the difference in height of the table versus the hump?
We don't know
Figure
the
it out.
answer to that question,
Okay.
and we have an understanding that the table height varies depending on how aggressively you want to slow someone down. So whatever height we choose there can still slow someone down and provide that more easeful usage for some of the downtown activities that Joel's pointing out, I think.
And I also think, like you said, 4th of July, that's like from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
on one day.
Our lives are 365 days a year, you know.
But it's
Well,
a world famous parade, Marilyn.
I don't think we're talking about making such a difference that it's not gonna slow people down. There's no
Yeah.
point in doing it if it's
Yeah.
not gonna slow people
Yeah,
down.
we
I
definitely
think, but I think that what the table does is, and we do have a lot of cyclists, is allows for, you know, kind of a smoother transition, but it's still gonna slow people down. It has to, or there's no point in doing it. We have to find out what the
I
numbers are.
I agree.
That we need, the
And
height
from
we
a
need.
bicycle perspective, a point I've been wanting to make, it is unsafe to go through the village on a bicycle
Yes,
at high speeds.
it is.
So bicyclists as well need to slow down. They hit cats, chickens, babies, and themselves on various things. So, yes, please.
Most speed tables and speed bumps don't extend all the way to the sidewalk if it's present. I mean, bicyclists go around them generally.
Well, the crosswalks
Motorcyclists
would.
often do. If I'm motorcycling up on Inferno, I split the difference between the removable ones rather than
Right.
get your
So
assault
these will
on
extend the full width of the road.
full width.
Yes.
They won't go onto the sidewalk. I wonder how they will interact with our striping, where we have the shared roadway. I think they will extend into the shared roadway. Like on Fuller
yeah.
Hill, right? If there were, or on
Yeah.
Flatiron, if there were one, but there isn't, it would go all the way across.
Yeah.
And that's the
The
only
edge of the
place.
pavement is
Yeah,
what it-
basically the edge of the
So you can
pavement.
still walk past it on the other side, but not if you're
All
driving.
right, so revised motion,
Will you tell it back, do you want me to tell it back to us?
2 tables,
2 tables,
3 humps,
3 humps,
full signage, up to $30,000.
installed in 2026, paid for in 2025.
Right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Did we second?
Yeah.
Kaylee, are you abstaining?
I am.
Okay. 1 abstention, 4 ayes. The motion passes. I seconded.
Okay.
You don't care this?
I'm finished sharing that. Thank you.
3 humps, 2
That feels like a
tables.
win. 3 humps, 2 tables. Let's move on to the second part of traffic calming, and that is we have a proposal from VHB who provided us with this first village assessment. Y'all may remember the walkthrough with them. We have a proposal from them to look at from the park and ride through the intersection with Route 100. Their proposal includes a kickoff meeting with, they say town staff. I want to clarify with them that this site walk include
Oh, yeah.
the
it'll-
public, which
yeah.
it did last time. Town staff and the public will have a kickoff meeting to discuss the concerns, do a site walk to talk about, you know, where the pinch points are, what are we seeing, what works, what doesn't. They'll then evaluate and prepare recommendations based on the context of the site, additional data provided by us and the public, and CVRPC. And they will present us with a summary of recommendations to the select board at an in-person meeting. One of the call-outs with respect to this is to determine some, let me just read this. This evaluation is anticipated to include an assessment of a design vehicle swept path at the Vermont 100 and Main Street intersection to advise enhancements to the intersection. The recommendations for the intersection and corridor are anticipated to include short-term, low-impact improvements as well as identified long-term recommendations. What they mean, what they said to us verbally was that they would provide us with a few ways in which we could redesign that entrance. Right now, just sort of like pilot program style with cones, to see what works. Like, how narrow can we make it and the tractor trailers don't drive over the cones, right? And people slow down. And so we have control over that. We don't have control over Route 100. I imagine, we talked with them a little bit about like, are there plantings? Are there other things that can be done that might work? We called out the fact that we'd like to figure out a way to stripe a pedestrian path through there, with the eye toward continuing what we've done elsewhere in the village. What else?
That's pretty much
I
it.
think that's mostly what their proposal includes. Yes, Mike?
And that's all within the context of the fact that by then a hump will be existing up there.
Well, they're proposing to do this work like this fall. So the hump won't be there yet,
Right.
but they will know that we plan to put one there.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. And the proposed cost for this work with VHB is $6,050, which is also payable through the grant.
We have confirmation of that?
We don't have confirmation of that.
No, because that
But-
wasn't the original scope.
Right.
That's what I remember I asked you to confirm
Well,
with
we
the
can't
grant.
make any amendments until it goes in front of their board in September. We've already made an amendment. When I
To
first started.
include,
Not to include that.
no, to include up to Route 100.
I'm gonna let you read the scope of work.
Okay.
Okay.
I was under the impression that we could use the grant monies to do this.
It does seem like it would apply.
It's very specific in the scope of where,
Right.
intersection narrowing, Fuller Hill to Main Street, Covered Bridge, Main Street, Brook Road, Main Street. And there's no, so median islands, South Main Street, North Main Street, and Brook Road, there's nothing about,
Yep.
anything
When we applied
that-
for the grant, we didn't, we talked about whether we
Correct.
should do that, but we didn't end up going past the park and ride.
Right.
So
Right, but I
we-
thought that's what we amended it to do, to allow us to go beyond the park and ride.
I don't believe so.
What did we amend it to?
I don't wanna take time up here
Okay.
to do that, cause I feel like we're already at 8:30.
But we could go back to them in September.
But if we get approved to make amendments in September, we
Yeah.
could ask them for that. But right now, we've already done an amendment.
So we could move forward with that pending confirmation in September, which is around the corner.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is a good use of $6,000, whether we can use it towards the grant or not.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say.
It's- it's in the capital
$6,000
budget.
is something that,
Totally.
right.
Capital
Now we have a
budget.
plan.
Whether
Capital
it goes on the
expense.
grant.
Yeah.
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 So I would move
It's
to
the
do it,
study.
try to get money from the grant. If we can, we'll just use capital funds
Right.
because we have to do it.
Okay, Joel, Kaylee, do you guys have anything you wanna add?
Nope, sounds good to me.
So I would move then to move forward with the VHB proposal. Make every effort to get payment from the grant, which would require updates in September. If that's not possible, to use capital funds to pay for it.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye.
aye.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. So Adam, to be continued.
I didn't get that last part.
You
Like,
didn't,
you don't have the funds to do the traffic cone road narrow?
no, we did, we're gonna move forward with the study.
You're doing the traffic.
One way or
We're doing
another, whether we
this
get it from
study.
the
We're
doing
grant or
study.
not.
VHB,
You're doing the study.
yeah.
it was just a question of who's gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
But we're
But
gonna
yes,
do it
we're
no matter
gonna
what.
Okay.
We're just gonna try and get somebody else to pay for it.
Sweet, as long as it's being done.
It's being done.
I'm not paying for it.
Actually, even if it's a grant, we're all paying for it, so.
Yeah. Okay, STR ordinance. Kaylee, Camilla. We
Okay.
have your revised version here.
Yes, so there is a cleanish copy of the ordinance. There's a few comments that I was hoping to walk through with the select board tonight, if you all are up for it, to just make decisions on it.
Let's do it.
And then okay, great. Would it be helpful if it's projected on the screen?
Thank you all.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, Kaylee, are you able to do that?
I can if I made an co-organizer, or co-host, or whatever the word is. I think. Actually, I might be able to do it now. Okay, I can do it.
You can do it? I think you are a co-host,
Yeah, I can do it.
because you were on before us.
Okay.
Adam, do you want a copy of the
Does everybody have a copy?
We're here, we're ready.
Okay, great. So what I did here, and Camilla helped provide comments as well, is I went through all of the comments that VLCT had left, and I accepted where I thought that they made sense as edits in terms of the overall flow. And Camilla also provided comments in here. We made a few adjustments that were, we took VLCT's into consideration, but we felt like Warren actually needed this particular thing, and I'll go through those as we move through the document. So generally what you see here is the clean-ish version of the draft. The first piece of this is just the table of contents. This will be updated upon finalization. The first section of this is the authority. The second section is the purpose. And this was an area where VLCT had a lot of edits, and they provided a lot of language around what the purpose of the ordinance was. Camilla flagged in here of why did they include protecting property values. That was never really voiced in our initial draft. And so our thought here was that we could remove that language, or we could simplify it. So my suggestion here is the purpose of this ordinance is to promote public health, safety, and welfare of the town, and to better understand the secondary impacts from short-term rental operations. Very basic, and then it also has this additional language here that says that this ordinance regulates STRs in furtherance of these purposes by. So just making it clear that this is really information gathering, which is what the purpose was from my standpoint from the beginning.
And mine as well.
I think it's great.
I think it reads great. The purpose, I think, reads
Yeah.
very well.
I thought that was nicely done.
Okay, so I will make that change. Let me just. Okay, so I will go back and make that change upon finalization. The third section is the definitions. They simplified our definitions quite a bit. An area that Camilla and I talked about via email was they removed the reference to hotels, B&Bs, and motels being kind of exempt and inns being exempt from this. I think where we had a little bit of concern was around bed and breakfast with this particular definition that they provided. We just didn't feel like it was as clear as it could be. The recommendation I'm making here is that we utilize Stowe's definition from their STR ordinance, which I put in the comments over here, which is a short-term rental or STR or short-term rental property means any lease or rental of residential real property, including a furnished house, condominium, or other dwelling unit or self-contained dwelling unit or portion thereof to the transient, traveling, or vacationing public for a period of fewer than 30 consecutive days and for more than 14 days per calendar year, but specifically excluding commercial lodging establishments such as hotels, motels, inns, and bed and breakfasts. They also had included this interpretation within their definition, which I liked, which was, for the sake of clarity, the definition of short-term rental shall include residential real property located within a commercial lodging facility that is held in a separate and unaffiliated ownership from the commercial lodging establishment itself, as is the case of individually owned rooms within the so-called condominium hotel. So they have kind of just this eye to the future of there are hotels and motels and inns being bought out and kind of utilizing Airbnb and VRBO to rent rooms.
I think that's a good,
Yeah.
definitely a good update. That's a well thought out definition.
I agree.
So we're proposing, Kaylee, we're proposing to take 1 as it stands right now, highlighted, and change it to essentially what Stowe
The
has
fourth
here.
comment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stowe.
Thanks, Stowe.
Yeah, that was helpful.
We appreciate you. Another key change here is that they just had STR administrator as the basic administrative officer who's in charge of this. This was unclear about whether we needed to appoint this person within this document or if it needs to be appointed via select board meeting. So I think that's just an area of ongoing.
Well, it sounds
I
like,
get
it
it.
Maybe
looks like
questions?
the definition that you've given us gives us the leeway to
Opportunity.
do that.
Right.
Which I think is
Yeah.
important.
At any point, the select board could.
Yeah,
choose
because I think
somebody.
we understand that the zoning administrator might not be the person to be the STR administrator, and therefore having the ability to designate someone else is important.
Enforce compliance.
Yeah, yeah. So that reads well to me.
Okay, great. The next section is the permit application requirements. On number 2 here, this is where Camilla and I departed a little bit from VLCT. They suggested reducing the numbers of owners to just the owner of the property, and also taking out the primary address of those owners. We felt from a data collection perspective, it's actually really helpful to know how many people are collaborating on these units, and then also where they're living, just from better understanding of the market. So that was an area where we departed a little bit. This was another additional suggestion by VLCT to include the owner's agent and property manager contact information, if applicable. So I think, Camilla, you mentioned that you're okay with that. I just had a question about whether that needed to be included in the ordinance itself, given, or in the, I guess my problem with that is that the owner's agent or the property manager might change, and if someone has a new property manager, do they then have to reapply or update their permit or registration?
Yes.
I think they should
Or are
update
they
it.
subject to a
Absolutely.
fine?
I think the fire department would say yes.
The fire department would say an adamant yes.
Isn't there a provision in here that if
there's any
anything
information
changes?
It's for their
you
own
have-
benefit.
yeah.
If they have a smoke detector go off, the fire department's there, and they can't get in touch, the
Okay.
more information they give us, the less likely we're gonna have to break the door down
Right.
and go in. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't
Great.
wanna destroy property, but if we don't have any information and the fire alarm's going off, we have to go in.
Right.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry,
I
is that a new
included
permit
that.
Or just an updated permit?
Just update. They just have to update the information.
Just update it.
Yep.
For their own
What are the odds
benefit.
that
I mean.
people are gonna do that?
Well, we can't make
And
them
that's-
do
that's
everything.
my-
What are
Right.
the odds that people are gonna
It's like, it doesn't feel like
If they're
people will
smart,
go back
if
and
they're
do.
smart, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
It's in,
But if you just go with the owner and then,
Well, we're
Yeah.
gonna find out if there's a fire call there and the person that is listed isn't the property owner anymore.
Then the door's
Whoever
going
this
down.
administrator is gonna call up the next day and say, yo, we got a call at your place and
Yeah.
we don't have your updated information.
Right.
Here's a fine.
I mean, I think it's absolutely reasonable to ask for it and necessary for
Yeah.
what we're trying to do. Whether or not people will do it, we cannot control.
well, we're not allowed to leave with an active alarm situation. So
Exactly.
if we can't get in touch with somebody to
figure it
open the
out.
door, we have to go in, and
Yeah.
that's
So
usually
if
not
there's an
pretty.
owner and a property manager, we should have all that
We
information,
want them
not
all.
just the owners.
The more information, the better.
Yeah.
The less likely that we'll have to break in.
Well, and this is a suggestion coming from VLCT, which I think gives even more weight that this is appropriate way to go.
Yep.
Okay.
There were, so I'm gonna keep that in, that language in, if you feel like it's, good enough at this point in time. And then on number 3 here, the number of sleeping rooms within the short-term rental, they just move, the definitions of those standards into a different section, and they cross-reference the section. So, it's just highlighted to make sure that that's consistent at the end. And then, let me think, I think this was this comment right here. Yeah, so VLCT had made a comment on number 5. We added in the language about an attestation that the STR is in compliance with the following, but they basically made a comment to the extent that these things feel non-enforceable at this point in time. So I made the suggestion that we just keep it in as a best practice, even if they question how we can enforce it.
I agree. Are you talking about the conditions, unsafe conditions?
Yeah, the A, B, and
Exterior-
C, and
exterior doors.
they removed a few of them.
So attestation though would require that they're
They just
signing
self-attest.
off. There's,
They
yeah.
just sign, yeah.
They just attest that those conditions are met.
Everybody wants to leave it, that's fine, I yeah, I don't love it.
What's your concern?
Well, just as they said, I mean, enforceability of it, like, are we adding things in that we aren't going to or going to be able to enforce? Just making it more cumbersome, but.
I think this provision will be enforceable in a matter of years. I think the state is gonna have to probably.
By
I
the
mean,
state.
Yeah.
But again, this is
But
ours,
so,
we can
right,
refer
and
to state
so,
stuff.
so to that end, for best practices, we're setting up the expectation for people running
Yeah, no,
short-term rentals in the
I-
village.
I get
Or
that.
in the town, this is
But
required.
does this also cover our butts when the fire department has to go in and they're finding that, doors aren't clear and they're obstructed? Does this cover our butts that we can say, hey, we have pictures that we went into your place and
Yeah.
you have an STR and these things weren't, you signed
not
this
in
attestation
compliance.
saying that, none of this was happening
Right,
and we found, got a call that it is happening.
right.
So maybe does this cover our butts? We
I
don't-
think it gives us the opportunity to do that, and I don't know, Kaylee and Camilla should speak more on this because you probably know better, but I think the argument that VLCT kept making was, yeah, sure, you can find them, but they're gonna fight it in judicial court or whatever it is.
There's something about signing something that I think
Yeah.
is helpful psychologically.
Taking
I mean,
responsibility.
I'm attesting, it's your honor.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we can't sue you, but you're saying.
I'm fine with leaving it because I don't have, it's not a big bone for me, so.
I think it's a good idea.
I like it.
Okay, so we're gonna leave it. Let me just note that. Okay. The next section is the general requirements. So this section changed a bit from the first draft. Can you hear me, everyone?
No.
Yep.
Not
So
really.
Give me 2 minutes.
What number are we on now?
We're on 5, general requirements.
Number 1, licensing and approvals.
Why did we decide on the 31st? So it was before budget season and after people were back in the swing of things?
Well, I think it had more to do with
Ski
rental
season?
season,
Okay.
ski season, yeah. but I think the discussion is gonna be whether have, it annually at one time, or if it's a rolling registration, that they,
Okay.
that was a comment they made, and Kaylee and I had a little back and forth on that.
I would suggest anyone who needs to use the restroom
Oh, can I
do
go?
so now.
It's my cue.
I bet her headphones died or something.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Maybe I'll go too. Why not?
What happened? Where did we get so off schedule? We were doing well. We spent way too long in traffic coming.
Yeah,
Traffic,
yeah. But I really feel like we,
Lumps versus tables.
yeah,
I was trying so
Daniel was
hard.
on some tables. But I think it was a really, it was a good conversation, and
Yeah.
we have an outcome, finally,
Yeah.
we're doing it.
I'm sorry about the VHP thing. I thought we were clear on that.
It's
that-
okay.
That we were doing that with the grant.
I'll
I'm
show you
sorry.
the, no, we'll connect this week,
Okay.
by the end of Friday,
Yeah,
and we'll go over it.
sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Thank you for reminding me of the time. I think I need a clock.
I was doing
Maybe
this
I
like a
should.
little timer, like a little egg timer, like,
Yeah.
and then it dings like, Harry's done talking.
Right, because Harvey was gonna time public comment. You need to.
Right, but he was great.
He was good.
I'm gonna do that right now.
I like the analog ones.
The what?
I like analog.
Okay.
I don't do well with digital time. It doesn't mean the same thing to me. I don't know why. Did you make your children have an analog watch before you'd allow them to have a digital watch?
They didn't wear watches.
Oh my gosh, because they have devices. My
I
dad was.
tried.
Yeah. Two of my kids did wear watches.
I joke around that we've gone all the way backwards
Yeah, I
to
don't-
pocket watches.
Yeah, we have. We have. Way bigger than we used to have.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I'm like holding on to my mini because
Yep.
they don't make it anymore. Yeah.
New one.
You did?
Well,
How?
it's a
You
refurb.
bought a refurb?
13.
So you want something like this?
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Look at that visual. I
$13.
had one like that.
Kaylee's writing in the chat that she's having no luck with her microphone.
Shit. Thank you for managing the chat. Sorry for swearing. This is on public television.
I watch videos of my grandchild while we're waiting.
Shoot. Kaylee, can you call in? Can you hear us? Can you call in? Because we can't see you anyway. Can you use your phone?
Oh, yeah.
She has this little window through the
I
phone.
love it.
She's 2?
Just barely?
Yep. She's like,
Kaylee's calling in. Her microphone broke on her computer.
Oh, no.
It's a day
it's
for
a- it's
computers.
not- Yeah, not a good day for
No.
computers.
Do we have to let her in, or does she?
She should just be able to, unless somebody wants to call her on their cell phones. Just have it on speaker.
Kaylee, do you want us to just call you?
What else is on the agenda after this? Are we done?
Should we? Do you want to pivot?
Yeah.
Why don't we pivot while we're waiting for her to get back on? We have a couple of items in other business. One is the Main Street Bridge and sidewalk proposals. We received only one proposal. Y'all have it in your folders from Parent Construction. The pricing didn't even change
The phase 2 did,
because he's projecting for next year.
yep, but phase 1 did not change.
We met him on site. We went through it again. He said he could get here September, October. We have a good understanding. We need to just touch base with John and Debbie and let them know that, you know, their portion of the railing, sorry, losing my words,
Yeah.
is gonna need, you know, probably to be removed and repaired.
And I would propose that we have Tim come and help us facilitate that conversation, because he's gonna be the one that's gonna do the work. So
Yeah,
he's gonna be
it
able
would
to
be,
better
it would
explain
be
it.
good to connect them, and maybe we just do that as a site visit with Tim when Debbie and John can make it, and
Yeah.
talk about the logistics of how that's gonna go.
Yep.
He's gonna close the road. If we approve this, he'll close the road and divert traffic around Flatiron, which will allow them to just work a lot faster. Pedestrian traffic will still be able to move through there,
Yeah.
but no cars.
We'll just have to go around via Flatiron.
Sorry, and the timing on this would be phase 1, September, October, you said?
Yep.
And then phase 2 is next year?
Next year.
Okay, so would we be approving both?
We can do whatever you'd like. I would love for us to approve both. The road crew has asked that we approve both. They have a very hard
Yeah.
time with the sidewalk. It's almost unplowable, they say. It's 6 inches too narrow for the bucket of the Bobcat that they use, and because the curb at the sidewalk has sunk so much, they can never remove this like whole slice that creates a lot of slush. And
What budget does this come?
well, we budgeted the 149 in
yeah.
the road crews.
Yeah.
The 233
Well, it would be next year, so we would budget for it.
in,
Next
so
year's.
Andrew's
In
fine
Andrew's
putting that in his
budget.
budget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, basically.
And this is capital. I think, right?
I think we just do it usually through,
I think we did do it in capital.
I don't
I
know.
don't have my book.
It's okay.
Okay,
Either way.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I just
Fine.
wanted,
Yeah.
it's his budget, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
wanted to make sure.
Yep.
We'll work it out.
And so he consulted, he and I walked through it together. Granite curbs, making sure that the actual usable sidewalk is 6 inches, is 5 feet wide.
Oh, okay.
And plowable.
So it's plowable. And Tim and I looked at those widths. It's easy enough to do. It might take 3 inches on one side and 3 inches of roadway. We have plenty of width. It shouldn't obstruct anything.
Great.
Long overdue.
It's long
Yeah.
overdue.
I
Fine
move
with that.
to move forward with the sidewalk repairs, phase 1 and phase 2, for $149,000 in this year, already in the budget, and $233,000 next year
Parent
be put in
construction.
with parent construction.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Hi.
She's here! The motion passes. Rebecca, please tell Tim,
I will do that tomorrow. Yay.
hey, we are getting
I
things
know,
done.
man. Look at that.
Celebrate the wins. And we have Kaylee back in action. We will go back to STR from other business. Please continue.
Section 5.
Did we lose you again?
Oh, no.
No, I'm here. I'm just trying to remember how to juggle between my phone and the.
Oh, right, because you're still doing both.
Here we go. Okay, so this is where we left off, I believe. Camilla thought that we should have the application run from kind of the October 31st due date and then be good for a year, or should be renewed annually by the 31st of October. I think my question with that suggestion was just around what does that mean for people who want to start offering a SDR in July? Do they have to apply for that SDR in July and then also renew by October? Or is it good for the year from when it's created? And what is the administrative burden to send out kind of renewal reminders on everybody if they have different renewal dates versus the same. So just a question for you all on that particular piece.
My feeling is,
I don't feel strongly one way or
I
the
think,
other.
I think if you,
I
I think
think
you
it's a
pay, you
nightmare.
pay the amount, whether you're there for 4 months or.
So I wonder if there's a
otherwise.
way to split the difference there.
Okay.
Because the logistics of rolling
Right.
renewals sounds like a nightmare to me.
I don't think we can have it.
But could you prorate the fee if it's July when the permit is being applied for? And then, yes, they still need to renew in October
Yeah.
for the full year,
But they only paid for 4 months.
but they paid for 4 months.
And how much are we talking about? Did we ever talk about? I mean, I guess.
Don't skip to
it's
the end.
It's relevant to this, in my opinion. If we're talking,
Right.
$200, I don't think it's a big deal. If you're talking $1,100, it's a big deal. So
Right,
That's,
there's a
So we
violation.
didn't put in the fee schedule that they provided. It was, I think, we had the fine schedule, but we didn't put in the
We
fee
didn't have it,
schedule
yeah.
for the actual registration. And we should talk about that and whether that belongs in here.
yeah,
I think it should go in there.
I think we need a fee schedule. And
Definitely do.
it could be determined by bedrooms,
yeah.
potentially.
What's Stowe's schedule?
Yeah, right? Stowe's doing a great job.
They really have good.
Did anyone look at that?
I don't think I did. No.
Okay, so, just quick clarification question on what our purpose is here. Are we hoping to pass this ordinance this evening?
Yes, well,
How are we gonna do that without a fee schedule?
You could have a
I
second.
think that's the question.
well, even if we could agree on the language for the ordinance, that, I think we need to do that tonight.
I would love to do that tonight.
Right.
So we could approve the ordinance,
Right.
and then need to approve the fee schedule once determined. So regardless of the fee schedule, I think it only fair that if someone registers with 2 months left of the year, that it's prorated.
So,
Agree.
prorated, no matter when they register.
Whenever
it
they
is
register,
prorated.
it's prorated. So even if it's $100,
Okay.
does that seem?
That's fine.
I mean, but I think we're talking, okay, so let's get a little bit of clarity around at least where we're talking ballpark figure, because what the advice we were given by Granicus was that it should be the average, at least 2 to 3 times the average nightly
Nightly
rental,
rental.
right? So if an Airbnb rents for $300 a night, the registration fee should be somewhere between $600 and $900. So if you're going to have a $900 registration fee, then in July, you're registering for July, August, September, October, 4 months, you're gonna pay
Stowe's is $100.
1/3.
Stowe's is $100 for the year.
And so I don't think we have to necessarily set that tonight. In number 4, number 8, it says payment of all applicable STR fees is established by the town select board. So to me, that means that you could make the fee schedule on the permit or the registration form as set by the select board, which is
Right.
pretty typical for other types of ordinances, so you can adjust it more easily.
Yes, and that's great, and I think that that's workable for us tonight, it does affect how we
Right.
look at, I think it should be renewed annually, yes. Is there somewhere that we talk about fees and where would the prorating or not come in?
We might
It wouldn't
be able
come
to
in
do
here.
that on the fee schedule.
Yeah, it wouldn't affect
Do it on the
us.
fee schedule.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
great, so does it feel appropriate to be renewed annually?
Yeah.
Awesome. I agree.
And do you want a date on that singular date if we're prorating?
I don't think the
Does that-
prorating
is this the
matters.
right-
think you still have to pick your annual
You have to
cutoff
pick your,
so that you know
and
what
this
your
feels
program
like a
is.
good date because most people rent December 1 through March or
Or even
April.
Thanksgiving.
Or
through,
even
so
Thanksgiving,
it's
right.
ski season.
I think
maybe.
that's great.
Yep.
Great.
On the prorating, if
Then
somebody,
we will,
is there an incentive to game the system if somebody's late, you know, by a month or 2 months? You know, if it's $1,200, let's say, then it's $100 a month to game the system, you know, and be late. Or are there going to be late fees?
There are late fees. I mean, there would be penalties. So if we found that they were renting and not registering, that would be a penalty. So they'd be paying a
So
penalty
you have
for
to make
that.
sure the penalties are more than the monthly.
Prorating.
Yeah,
prorating.
fair.
We'll have you edit or proof that. Okay, Terry, thank you. Please
Remind
do.
us of that when we're setting the fees.
Good call. Would you continue, please, Kaylee?
sure. So on general requirements number 2, the standards, the LCP felt strongly that you can't really have a standard around off-street parking spaces for all guests without setting standard and what that is. So we have things like, is it one off-street parking spot per 2 bedrooms, or do we have a different standard from that? And do we want to establish that at all? Or do we just want to say that they have to register how many off-street parking spots they have available? And just keep it simple.
And the argument arises here when camping is allowed on a property. Because otherwise, I mean, I think that's where we went with this when we looked at it the first time, right? Because like realistically, if there are 4 bedrooms, there are likely at least 2 cars. So the standard of 1 bedroom for every 2 spots makes sense to enforce. But some properties may also have an opportunity for you to set up a tent on the lawn for 1 or 2 other people. And now it's not, parking is no longer determined by bedrooms.
Which is why Kaylee, I think, is suggesting that we just have them write down how many off-street parking spaces they have. And we don't require, we don't try to say you have to have this many for
Right.
this many people. We just
Right.
say, you write down how many you have and that's how many you get. And if you're violating that,
Yeah.
if you have cars on the lawn, that's violated.
Or in the street is really what we care about.
Well,
Or someone
yeah,
else's
but- yeah,
lawn,
whatever.
right?
Yeah, right.
It's fine with me.
We like your recommendation, Kaylee.
Yep.
Let's do it.
So where are we with this one? Do we want to keep it simple?
Keep it
What do you
simple.
all-
Yeah, they just register the number of
it's
spots they
simple.
have.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to be rewritten. It just says they must have sufficient
Well,
off-street
all we have
parking
to do essentially, so we do say in a later section that
Okay.
they have to register the number of parking spots they have. So all we really have to do here is just remove the standard around it.
Strike B, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll do that. Easy.
I really
Okay.
like the next page.
We need, yeah?
Before you get to the next comment, on
Yeah.
license processing, number 2, there's just
Mhm.
there are 2 musts. Pursuant to this section,
Where?
must. I'm done.
Where do you see that?
Short-term
Sorry,
rental
number-
permits issued pursuant to this section must include the following.
Must.
6(2).
Okay, we'll remove that.
We'll remove it.
It should be here.
Enforcement and fines.
So we still have, Rebecca.
Did you must?
We still have a few different things. So violations, they added a section, which basically just stipulates the civil penalties. License processing, oh sorry, I missed the 6. So this is very straightforward, I think. This is where we have the maximum occupancy and the parking limitations, a statement that no outdoor fires are allowed except by local and state law, statement that it can be revoked for violations, and that they have to have, or within the permit itself or registration, whatever we're calling it, that needs the name and the telephone number for the person responsible that we're issuing it to.
This looks good to me.
Yep, looks good.
This feels like boilerplate. We have to have this.
Yeah. The violation section is pretty straightforward. It's just saying that it's a civil penalty. And then we get the enforcement and fine section, which is the interesting one. We had a lot of edits and recommendations in this section. Really where it came down to for edits for us was really just thinking about the number of days and months between violations and enforcement. So trying to think about what that might look like. So on this first one, if the STR administrator determines where there's a violation of this ordinance, the STR administrator must first issue a notice to remedy within a certain number of days.
15,
14.
30, 14.
Well, it's just 14 in the fine, so.
I said 14. I think Kayla, you were suggesting 30 to give people time.
But it's the
I
administrator.
feel like it should be 30 days, especially if they live out of state. I don't know if that feels overly nice. I don't.
Wait,
have a
I'm sorry,
preference
hang
that.
on 1 second, I'm confused. Are we on enforcement B or are
Yes.
we on fines
Yes.
A?
B.
I'd make them both 14
Okay,
days.
so
Yeah, Brown
B-
enforcement B.
So B is saying the STR administrator must first issue a notice to remedy,
Within 14 days.
right? So once they know, am I reading this wrong?
So, I just realized, because I was reading it that way too. Is
Yeah.
this the STR administrator must issue it within 14 days, or the notice to remedy, that the remedy has to be within 14 days?
I think,
Well, the 1B is the issuance of the notice, and then 2A is it has to be
it
fixed.
has to be fixed.
I'm just saying making them the same.
So.
I mean, if it's
so
smoke
this is-
detector that's out, they should fix it
Yeah,
within
so
14 days.
this one says our
This is our administrator
enforcer,
has to do it within 14 days of what?
of them being aware of a violation.
Of
So
the
we're-
STR administrator determining there was a violation.
So they
You're
get
saying
a,
when they do it right away.
the
when they
fire
do it.
department breaks down the door because the fire alarm is there. They notice a violation, they tell the administrator has 14 days to notify the property owner.
And why? Why are we requiring our administrator to do it within a certain number of days?
So that
Because
they
otherwise it
do
won't
it.
get done.
I just changed
If
it.
they're busy.
know.
I'm just trying to figure out, are we punishing our administrator for,
Maybe.
Not getting
Kaylee,
it.
what are you trying to say?
Camilla,
sorry.
I just updated this, so instead of issue a notice to remedy within 14 days, it says a 14-day notice to remedy. It's
Okay.
for
It's a, yeah.
the person that owns the unit to remedy the situation,
Within
that 14 days.
14
And then
days.
if the violation has not been done within that time period, then
Okay,
It's
so
the-
Camilla was
it's the
right.
same period of
all
time,
along.
yeah.
It was just worded incorrectly. Yes?
yeah.
Even better.
Okay, I like, I am, 14 days is,
Pretty quick if you can't hire somebody to do
it's
something.
really fast if you can't. Is there an opportunity
To extend.
to communicate and receive an extension? I'm just thinking about like a larger violation, right? Like electrical isn't up to code. That could potentially be a 2-month project that isn't even accomplishable within 14 days.
Is that a
I don't think
violation
that's a
that we
standard,
can,
though.
I don't think that's something
All
we
it says
enforce.
is electrical systems must be serviceable with no
Except
visual
that they
defects.
have to be up to state code, I think.
I know, but that's for the state to do, not us.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Yeah,
what
we
it's-
don't touch code in this.
Yeah, we're not code.
So this would be something like,
They took out all of the code language.
to be something like they're not protecting their garbage or keeping their garbage from being, I don't even know if we have that in here still, but,
No, that didn't make it in here either.
okay.
So
Um,
what are we,
that
we're only requiring them under the general requirements, is that right?
section 4,
We're requiring them to meet all of the requirements that are laid out
The standards.
in the general requirements. Yes,
Yeah, so.
along with the self-attestation that's up in the permit
Oh,
application
trash must be
requirement.
secured in a, yeah. Must be stored in a secure place.
We also took out reference to the noise ordinance because we do not have one.
Yeah. They have to have a Knox box if they have an alarm. They have to have
So we
emergency
need a noise
information.
ordinance.
Okay, we're not doing that tonight.
Yes,
We're not
we
doing-
are. It's only 9:07. I'm just kidding. But note to selves,
Yeah.
right? Because
Well-
this just begs the question of like, so what are we actually regulating here? And
Well, we have not referenced noise ordinance in here.
I know.
So again,
There just isn't. There aren't a
Let's-
lot of standards. That's all I'm saying. Under general requirements, there isn't a lot, which is fine.
because our objective was
data
to
collection.
collect data
Right.
and refer them to the state standards.
So based
So-
on these general requirements, 14 days feels like ample time.
yeah, I agree.
I think probably for the things that we're requiring of them, it probably does.
It's principally fire safety. I mean, that's the,
Sort of,
Well,
but we're not even
we're not-
enforcing that.
yeah.
Well-
It's not
State-
even in the
that's
general
state
requirements.
codes.
That's what I was
Yeah, that's
saying,
fair,
because
yeah.
fire safety is, proper electrical system, those kinds of
well, that's
things.
fair, yeah.
And we're not
Yeah.
doing that.
The only thing would be the solid fuel burning ordinance. If
Right.
they had a violation of that, that would take them longer to.
But it could be
they could
decommissioned.
I was just
It
gonna
could be
say they could
decommissioned
probably-
faster than that.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Um,
No, these
there
are
is
things
this, no, you're right, fire safety, there, information for the Department of Health, oh no, that's just posting information.
That's
Sorry.
state stuff that we have to, yeah, that we want them to.
We're good,
No.
sorry, keep going, it's late.
Hey, everybody, I'm gonna have to leave in 10 minutes, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We're gonna be
Totally
done.
get it. Do you have any specific thoughts, Joel, before we plod through the rest of this?
Well, I'm just curious if, like, since this is an ordinance, and I don't know the process, but and we're editing it, is the public supposed to be able to see this final draft before we put it into some kind of, legally binding system?
I don't believe so for an ordinance.
I
don't
don't
think so.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't know the process, so I'm
We
just
do have
asking.
all of the information
Thank you.
somewhere. Didn't we attend to how to adopt an ordinance? Okay, keep going,
Yeah.
Kaylee, sorry.
Okay, so the next one is that so it will basically be, you have a violation. If it hasn't been cured, you get another one. Repeated violations of the same provision shall not be given remedy in the violation before additional daily fines accrue. I feel like that they asked for that to be removed. I don't remember, Camilla.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Okay, so maybe that's one that we need to look at and,
Repeated
Wait,
violation
wait,
of this
we don't
ordinance
wanna
shall
have to
not
go
be given
looking at
time to
anything.
remedy. Does anybody?
yeah, I think we wanted to get rid of additional fines or daily fines, right? That was what they told us we had to get rid of.
Did they? Additional daily fines? Ugh, I don't have my computer, so I can't check that.
Repeated violations of the same provisions of this ordinance shall not be given time to remedy the violation before additional daily fines. A subsequent violation that is identical to and that occurs within 6 months of a previous violation should
Oh,
be
it's
considered.
not supposed to be daily, it's supposed to be fine. I think that's it.
Before additional
because
fines
it's basically saying,
Yeah, we don't,
yeah,
Take daily out.
yeah,
okay,
take out daily, right?
great, okay. Yep. Okay, and then a subsequent violation that is identical to and occurs within 6 months, this is up for debate, of a previous violation shall be considered a higher offense. Any subsequent identical violation that occurs after 12 months of a previous identical violation shall be considered a new offense, first new offense.
That sounds fine.
So
And
hang
6
on,
and 12
that
are
means,
recommended by Camilla.
what does that mean? That means there's a violation, the trash is not,
Trash keeps
Animal
getting
proof.
dragged out, yeah.
they don't fix it within 6 months.
No, they do fix it. Oh, no,
No.
they might not fix
Repeated
it.
violations or subsequent violations, so they don't fix it
Yep.
within
Within
6
6
months.
months.
Now it's a second offense. So they pay a higher fine. Then they still don't fix it within 12 months and it goes back to being less expensive.
No, I think they have to fix it in 14 days.
But then they don't.
Well, then they
So after
accrue
6
fines.
months, yes.
Yeah.
And then after 6 months, you find them again.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they fix it and then they fix it, but then they,
So,
But it isn't fixed because it happens again.
right.
So now you find them more. And then it happens again 6 months later because it's bear season again. And you find them less. And you just keep doing this until they never fix it or they do fix, like,
Yeah. I don't
it
really
feels
know
like
why
after
that
12
was in
months,
there that
it
way.
shouldn't go back to a first offense. It should be a third offense.
Or just no more permit.
Or your
Yeah, I
permit
think
is
that's,
revoked.
yeah.
I think
Like,
you do.
fix
lose-
the damn
Kaylee, do you,
problem.
hold on, Devin. Kaylee, do you remember where this came from? And what
this
the,
was VLCT.
Section 9(2), if they do commit 3 violations, they lose their license.
but why is it a
But the
new
third-
one after 12 months?
And we have fourth and subsequent violations, so we might as well
That
just.
they did remedy it, and it happened again.
And then it
last
happened
year.
again.
I mean, I don't know how you.
It seems like to me that the idea is that the first offense becomes a second offense, so that the initial offense will become, you could basically lose your license after the third time of the same offense happening 3 cycles.
Oh, so if it's trash, if you fix it and get it again and fix it and get it again 3 times, then you'd lose your license
Within a year,
within a year.
but,
I don't
Well, so it also begs the question, if you have a first offense and you remedy it, but then the same offense is created 2 months later from a different, say a different tenant
From a
or a
new bear.
different
New
whatever
bear.
you want to call it, is it then a second offense since they've had the first offense already?
Well, it would be
Yeah,
a
I
new-
think
if
it's
they
a-
remedied it, it's a new offense.
it's a new
It's a
offense,
second,
yeah.
yeah.
It's not a second, it's a new first. Like if you build a little bear-proof thing and the bear wipes it out, okay, you made an effort, and
So maybe that's why they call it a subsequent identical violation.
Identical, yeah.
I mean, let's be clear, we're talking about not parking off a street, not listing names,
Not putting in a Knox box.
not putting in an Knox box.
Having garbage strewn about.
Yeah, I mean, these are, I don't
the
know.
trash is gonna be the most.
Not having a house number
The
visible.
patch is
To
gonna be,
me,
but each,
to me,
my
I think the
point,
reason,
sorry,
I
Kaylee,
think
I
the
just,
reason that they put this in there, was because they were saying that if the same thing occurs within 6 months, then you didn't really remedy it.
yep,
Whatever you put into motion to stop the thing from happening or not doing the thing was not really sufficient.
but if it happens
What they're
again-
saying is like, if it happens after 12 months after your last violation, it's considered a new offense because you probably did remedy it, but it happened again.
Yeah, yeah.
That means like someone stealing your house number?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Sure.
something changed
Yeah.
and, and so,
Okay.
I mean, if it's 12
I don't
months
really care.
in between, yeah.
I
mean,
really don't
with these
care.
issues, it's not that big a deal.
Right.
Maybe we just leave it in there,
Yeah.
as long as we understand it.
Well,
I
and
still don't understand it, does that mean I have to care?
I think the key is the identical. So in other words, if you had your trash bins wheeled out to the end of the driveway and the bear strewn all about, and then, as Perry said, you built a thing and you put the trash in there, that's not an identical violation.
Right.
Right,
If you just keep on pulling them
Made an
out there
effort.
and they keep getting busted into, then it's an identical violation, and if you do it 3 times, you can pull your license.
except that the identical violation is what is now fined at a lower rate the third time.
No, not the 3rd time.
Yeah, the third time is after 12 months, right? It happens once, it happens after 6 months, and it happens after 12 months. That's the third time, but we're treating it like the first time.
I agree. I think this timeline might not make sense. maybe it's 3 months
In C,
and 6 months?
it's.
No, 3 months and 12
It will
months?
be a higher offense, a second or third offense. If
Yeah.
it happens within 6 months, it's a
Higher
higher
offense,
offense.
but
But
then-
if it happens, if you go a whole 12 months and it happens again,
Great. Identically.
yeah,
Okay,
then it's,
Sure.
starts over again.
okay. I'm fine with it. Is that what VLCT
Are you all
suggests?
okay with the timeline?
Yep.
Yeah.
We can amend it down the road.
Yeah. Right.
We find that it doesn't work.
Thank you.
So,
Rebecca, for
so
that
why,
reminder.
why do we make it expire in 2 years?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we,
We don't know.
Sure.
Oh.
Do we want
Kaylee,
to
are
talk
you
about the
here?
waiver fees? For any person who declines to contest.
Kaylee left us.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
yes.
I think the fees look
Okay.
for the,
What do we need to talk about under D?
D, this is, VLCT told us we have to create a waiver fee in lieu of a civil penalty, or suggested that we do. So if someone doesn't take issue with the fact that we issued them a notice to fix something, and they can pay the waiver fee instead of paying the violation fees or the civil penalty fee.
I think that's the statute.
And so you'll see they're a little lower.
So you can,
So as long as you don't argue with us, you can be like, yeah, I'm sorry, here's $100.
I'll fix it, here's $100.
Right. Right.
But if
Yeah.
you argue with
If we
it,
do
you
it,
cost
that's
us a bunch of legal
silly.
fees and then you
I
pay,
think that's more time
$100
for
more.
us. It's more hassle for us,
yeah.
right?
And the fees here in both sections D and E are the ones that SO has.
Yeah. We set
which we
them as
take
stoves.
comfort in.
Somehow.
Okay.
Expiration.
Okay? Camilla, do you want to talk about this one?
So from the very beginning, when we said, okay, we need data on STRs and how they might be impacting our communities, we're going to go ahead and create a registry, which required that we create an ordinance, but we're going to try it for a couple of years. And so we said that we would create an ordinance that would expire after 2 years to encourage us to not just put a registry in place and create laws around it, but actually sit down and analyze whether this was a useful exercise or not. So that's why we had kept in the 2 years expiration. Does that sound about right
Yes,
to you guys?
it does. And not that I agree with it, but we did already make that commitment, and I think
Oh,
it's important that we honor it.
Okay.
And honestly, the Granicus, it's not cheap,
Right.
Yeah.
this registry thing. So if
Right.
it's not really useful, you don't want to just be like, okay, well, it's there and it just kind of rolls on. It forces us to sit down and say, was this useful? What did we get out of it? Do we want to
wanna keep-
continue? We can amend it anytime. We can amend it next week if we want.
And you can extend it.
And then we can extend it, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It just expires so that it's a point in time that we,
We have to follow up on.
Yeah.
yeah.
Does that work for everyone?
I'm sorry, everybody. I gotta leave. Awesome work.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Joel.
Joel.
All right. Good night.
Night.
Is everybody okay with the expiration?
Yep.
Okay. Kaylee, can you continue with us, please, so we might be able to go home sometime soon?
She does have the expiration date, though.
She does? It's
Uh,
2 years
Heather-
after the initial adoption.
She's saying, I think we should have it expire December 2027. But,
Oh,
so that there's an actual date instead of 2 years and somebody has to.
okay.
Look it up.
That's
So-
fine with me.
Yeah, we should probably put in a date, even if it's 2 years from when we actually adopt it. It should probably be a date, not just 2 years.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, she's there.
Can you? Great. Yes, I'm here. Okay, so we will keep this in, and are you okay with December? It sounds like you are.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to allow for that.
Looks like we just need.
Okay, and then sections 9, 10, 11, and 12 were the ones that were recommended by the LCT. The only two things that I think we need to actually talk about are under number 9, if a licensee commits 3 violations within a certain number of months, their license will be revoked.
What do we think is appropriate?
Again, go ahead.
What do we think is appropriate?
12. I think you want it wide enough that it's sufficiently, like if you say 3 months, you know, it's the likelihood of having 3 in 3 months that somebody's gonna check is pretty low, but 12 months
I see.
has a little teeth to it.
And
Right.
if they have 3 in 3 months, then they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Right.
within 12 months.
Right.
So, yeah, we're extending it out to 12
Yeah.
months
Yeah.
if in a year
Yeah.
you've pissed us off enough.
Right. Which means we'd have to catch you 3 times, which.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I think
Yeah.
that's reasonable. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
12.
And then this one is in italics because it was optional. They added this language of consider including a licensee who has had their license revoked may not reapply for a period of 1 year from the time their revoked license was due to expire.
I think we need that if we
Which-
have 2. Because otherwise you could have your 3 violations get revoked for like 4 days. And then,
Yeah, right.
Get a new
then
one.
we get it.
Yeah.
I agree.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
you gotta keep 3.
I
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
And is there something?
And it's such a, go ahead.
Is there something in here that if somebody just says, screw it, I'm not getting a permit?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
where my mind went. What happens if they just don't get a permit?
don't we have, that's part of the ordinances that you have to
You have to get a
Right,
permit.
but what if
get
they
a
don't?
permit.
What do we do if they
Then
don't?
they get a violation.
That's a violation.
Violation. Because I don't have a permit.
Yeah.
I don't know, don't be, wanna be
Well,
the
you
fly
don't-
in the ointment here.
No, you have a violation of an ordinance. You don't
Yeah.
have to have a permit to have
Yeah.
a violation.
Going to jail?
Not having a permit is a violation of the
violation.
ordinance.
You get a
Okay.
fine.
We can still fine you.
And then if you don't pay,
You keep
don't
not
pay the
paying
fines,
and you
that's
keep
the whole
not paying,
civil
then we take you to
penalty thing.
court
Yeah.
through the prescribed process
okay,
with the judicial bureau.
that's all in here?
It's in here.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm. And then this is it. So the last few things that would need to happen for us to get through this and approve a copy would be to just renumber the sections because we kept expiration. And then to accept the changes that we agreed on tonight and insert the links where needed. And then the last piece that I wanted to bring up with the select board for conversation was the question about whether we're calling it a license, a permit, or a registration. Because I think when we've talked in the past, we all decided a registration, but the LCT and several drafts of this have changed it to permit and license. So
I think it's a permit. I think I've been consistent on that since the beginning though. You get a building permit,
Okay.
you get a burn permit, you get a
Great.
STR permit.
I like
That's-
that.
That's the
That sounds
verbiage
good.
we use
Just somebody
usually.
remind me what the argument against permit was?
It's already worded as permit.
that,
Well, they did.
Oh, they did it, sorry.
LCT.
I don't remember.
I remember the difference was there really was no difference, but it's the sense of like a registration is you're just registering it, so you're just giving us information about it. The permit means that you have to comply with codes or like comply with certain standards that we're setting.
Comply with this.
But our
Alright.
standards
Was
have
like-
been gutted to such a degree that our permit really doesn't matter.
It matters.
It does.
No, I mean, like,
Yes.
it's not
It's not a big,
punitive,
it's not a big,
right?
right, yes, yeah.
But if you know, if our experience is that people are violating it left and right, then we'll have to revisit
Yes,
how punitive it is.
right.
No, I'm fine with the permit.
Yeah. Permit's good.
So it seems like we have 13 sections, right, Kaylee, instead of the 12 as written?
Yeah.
And we need to determine a fee schedule. Otherwise,
Doesn't have to
these
go in here.
edits look great.
Well done.
Great.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion to approve this ordinance?
I move to approve the ordinance as updated in the meeting.
With the modified section numbers, edits made, and the forthcoming fee schedule.
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye,
Look at how many things we checked off our
Jesus.
list
So
today.
let me go through and clean this up tomorrow,
Great,
and then you guys can stop in and sign it.
perfect.
Yep.
Love it. Please and thank you. And if someone could,
Post it.
and post it, and we need to draft a fee schedule. Does someone feel like they can take a stab at like 2 options?
I could, but not till next week. I'm going on vacation Thursday.
Yeah, like
so-
maybe in preparation for the next meeting? Sure. Yeah, let's look at a fee schedule for the next meeting. Do we have space on that meeting, Rebecca? Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe not. It is, so we have, maintenance plan for the town, the hazard mitigation plan, and then the public works mutual aid agreement. And then we have executive session.
Why don't I just
Send it.
send it around, whatever, put it in a document that people can look at. At least we have the information, and when we can get it on the agenda, then we discuss it.
Yes.
I'll put it on for the 26th,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
if we
we have
need
to.
to move something, that can be the
Yeah,
thing that we move.
let's send a draft, and if
Yeah.
someone's like, this totally doesn't work for me, and we think it's
Right.
gonna be a longer
Right.
discussion,
Yeah.
we can
Right.
rearrange
And if
things.
it's just yep, that looks good, then we can probably put it in there pretty quickly.
Great.
So when the planning commission asks, how's that STR
Ordinance.
thing going?
It's
You
passed.
say
done.
it's
It's adopted.
done.
The ordinance has been passed, and the fee schedule will be completed hopefully within the next 2 weeks, at most within the next month.
Fee and fines?
Fines are
Fines
already
are already,
started.
defined.
we just passed the fines. We just agreed to the
Those were
fines.
very stiff.
That's not what this is about.
It's research, it's
This is, damn it.
But if there's a lot of
How many times
violations,
do we
we
have to
can
say that?
revisit, we can revisit.
And
Yeah.
I just wanna remind
Always
everyone,
revisit.
an ordinance is a living document and can be amended and changed at any moment in time. Okay, we are moving on. Goodbye STR ordinance. I just wanna take a tiny minute
Don't lift the button.
and acknowledge all of the things that we have checked off of
I
our
know,
project
I'm
list today.
impressed. I am
right?
very impressed.
We have done the sidewalk and bridge repair. We finished all of the signs. They're complete in the town.
Yeah.
There was something else you did that was amazing and we loved.
The MailChimp.
MailChimp
MailChimp,
is
right.
happening. STR ordinance has been passed and we approved speed bumps.
And we're using NEMRIC for our zoning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
big wins, team. Nice job, great work. We've all been working so hard to get to this point. Thank you. We're moving on to our last thing in other business, the Lister's new hire of Carolyn Adams, which has been done.
Yep, we just need to formally.
She's onboarded. Do we approve?
I move to approve the hiring of Carolyn Adams as an assistant to the listers.
I think she's just a new lister. No?
No,
She eventually will become a lister, but right now
But
she's
they're
just.
elected.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
She's full-time?
she's-
Wait, or did you say
she's part-time.
She's
Part-time,
part-time.
part-time.
So she is an assistant.
Second.
Correct.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, awesome.
Aye.
Okay, the only other business is the town hall doors are coming.
Okay.
They are coming. There was some sort of confusion about,
The hardware and the grate and, yeah.
we don't know why that happened after they were supposed to be installed, but it did, and there's nothing we can do about it, and we've asked him to get them installed as soon as possible with temporary hardware. Great, and final hardware to be installed when they arrive. Just so everyone knows. Sorry. They're gonna be amazing. They're gonna be gorgeous. It's gonna be well worth it.
They might kill us, but that'd be cool.
We're gonna move on to signatures.
Okay.
We have minutes. Thank you all very much for coming.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you for participating. Minutes to approve of June 24th, July 8th, and July 22nd. Wow. What happened to us?
Well, we just kinda got.
I move to approve the minutes from June 26th, July
July 8th.
8th, and July 22nd.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Harvey?
Aye.
Kaylee?
Hi.
Awesome. Okay. Shoot, I'm losing papers. Minutes. No, we just did minutes. Okay, accounts payable.
I need some more.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm just
Okay,
trying
you're
to,
doing
do
too
you
many
wanna read the
things.
accounts payable?
I don't know where they are.
Right there.
Sorry. Here you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Move to approve payroll in the amount of $50,968.01.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Move to approve accounts payable in the amount of $184,580.05. Somebody wants a second, I do want to have a
Second.
quick discussion. I had a question
About payroll.
about AP.
Oh, accounts payable. We already approved payroll,
We
right?
already approved payroll, but I need to pull it up, sorry.
Why are there so many more people on payroll than
It's
usual?
the not weed interns.
I
every-
was like,
every
who
other-
are these people?
Yep.
We don't have that many people in the building.
AP.
Uh-oh,
So there's a
that's payroll. No, you're good.
4th of July. Looks like there are a lot of 4th of July bills that came in.
Yep.
One of them was to the Rotary, $2,500 for 2023.
So, we forgot to pay them in 2023. So
We forgot to pay them.
they are allowing us to pay that little by little.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh. Like, how much is that total amount?
I think we forgot to pay them the full 5,000. So we paid them half of it last year, and we'll give it half this year.
So this will be paid off.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Good
Okay.
catch, good catch.
Is that the other one? Or is it- Other AP question?
We should not forget to pay people.
We should not. Oh, maybe it wasn't, it's just a question, but like, I don't remember seeing before all these Green Mountain Power, we pay them, are these light bulb changes or something? $18 for
Oh, those
Redfield
are the
Road. What-
standard Green Mountain Power
The-
usage fee charges because we're powering everything with the solar.
Yep.
But there's always like the account fee
Yep.
that doesn't get paid
It's
by
not,
the
that doesn't
solar.
come out of the
So
solar.
everywhere
But
you
for
have a
every single
hookup,
place we
everywhere
have-
you have a meter.
Oh my
Yeah, but
gosh,
charge.
Every light
pay
pole.
a fee.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never noticed that
Yeah.
before. Okay, sorry.
Oh, every
She
light
will
bulb.
give me a pack of Green Mountain Power bills like this, and I'm like, oh my god.
So,
Yeah.
all
Okay,
those in favor?
any other questions?
No, thank you.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Hi.
Kaylee, you do not need to sign these because we have 3, just so you know, but if you'd like to, you're welcome to come down and do so.
I'm okay. Thank you.
The last thing is a capital budget transfer request. This is just me, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's just you.
So I don't need them to do
Paving, it's a
anything.
paving.
37, okay. SP signature. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Kelly.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yay!
Nice. Long meeting, but a